I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
South Africa, yea, is my mooiste land, so says Giselle in her song. Welcome back to the program, folks. Chris live in central Pennsylvania. If you're wondering what kit I'm wearing, it's not rugby. It's actually for Pablo Charlie, if he happens to show up this time. I actually got this to wear for Pablo Charlie. He loves the National Football League. This is the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, and along with the t-shirt here. There you go. So I wore this tonight for Pablo Charlie. Eat his heart out there. Pretty cool cap. I got two of them. There's a different one, and I like this one here. So, yeah, there you go, folks. The Philadelphia Eagles, really cool colors they've got there. They're teal green there. Good stuff. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. We'll get started here for the Sunrise Edition in South Africa. Shawnee Grows. Hey, Shawnee. Love the thumbnail of these Sunrise live streams. Yeah, I like that AI that took my photograph and put AI stuff around it. You look like a Delta Force guy. It's pretty cool. That, of course, was Giselle with South Africa. She is, of course, Namibian, so it's ironic she sings a song in praise of South Africa. Dennis LaRue, may I ask a question just for clarity? I've seen all the videos and not sure if it was mentioned. The promise that was made for South Africa by Trump 2018. I looked at Steve's Monday chat. Who is Steve? Steve Hofmeyer? And what promise did Trump make in 2018? I don't recall him making a promise. I remember he made a tweet about farm murders in 2018. What promise are you referring to? And I didn't address that because I don't know what you're talking about. Did some homework with no success. Maybe you can shine some light on the subject, please. I don't want to jump conclusions. I don't know what the promise was, Dennis. You're going to have to tell me because Trump did make a promise to my knowledge. In fact, in 2018, when that happened, when we got to 2020 and I was doing broadcasts and people were asking, is Trump going to save us? Trump going to save us? I said, he's not going to save you. No one's coming to rescue you. You got to save yourselves. Get off your ass and go vote and get rid of these bums. And that's what I told people. Now, you're going to say, Chris, but you were wrong. Trump is coming to our rescue. Well, that wasn't Trump. That was Trump 1.0. This is Trump 2.0. Trump 2.0 was nearly assassinated twice, shot in the head once, and they used lawfare to try to bankrupt him and try to put him in prison, and he's not the same person. He had 4 years to plot, to plan, to drain the swamp, and to take action around the world, and that's who we're seeing now. This is a very different man. This is not the same man who was president before. I know he's the same physical person, same DNA, but he is a completely different man, and yeah, he is going to make an offer to South Africans. So, Dennis, I'm happy to answer that question as best I can, but I need more information. Marissa Besselar is back. Hello to you, NWA. Fred Baranga, Ellie is here. And then Bushfelt Butt, Ilza Hugo. Oh, thank you for your membership, Ilza. Appreciate that. Oh, and also Urban Homestead. I missed that one too. Sorry about Urban Homestead. Sorry, I missed that. Went right past it. Gerhard Duprier. Electric cable stolen out of the ground again. Wonder how long we'll be without power this time. A regional police station is one operational vehicle. Exactly. That's the joke. A regional police station, for starters, not a local police station, and one vehicle. That's pathetic. That's because they stole all the money, not the cops. Well, maybe some of them stole it, but it's actually it's the ANC that stole it. It's always an excuse. I used to work in security and, calling the clients when there's an alarm. If you call the police for assistance, they're rude and don't even have a car. Yep. Jan Fundril says, good morning. Your interview you had with, what about the interview I had with Newspod? How is Irving, Texas to live and weather? It's like the Highveld. It's hot in the summertime. It's not that humid. Not my cup of tea. Irving, Dallas, but people like it, so it's fine. Texas isn't my cup of tea, though. I mean, I have respect for Texas, great place, but it's not my cup of tea. So I'd much rather live in Wyoming, where real cowboys live. So Janissa Lawrence is back. Welcome. Angie Fun Lonen, welcome to you. Roxy Yappy Brown. By the way, folks, I got to say, look, I'm not even trying to get memberships on the channel, and I hope people aren't disappointed with what you're getting. I will do some special member things coming up just because of the sheer volume of members, but we have over 500 members on this channel now. I'm just gobsmacked by that. That's amazing. And I want to thank you all so much for that. Those who've given memberships. This isn't I'm not asking for membership, rather it's a super chat than a membership. But this isn't asking for membership. I just want to thank people. I'm very grateful for it. It's really a nice validation of the effort that's put in here. So Yapi Barant is back. Valerie Burish Zeitzman. Zeitzman's a cool name. Alfonso Ferreira, welcome to you. By the way, no, I'll get to that later. I'm not going to tell you now. And Heidi Kruger, welcome to you. Very German name. Heidi Krüger. Yeah. Carol McDougall. Welcome to you. Richard Kuhn is back. Reddick. Charmaine Hussein. Diane Humpel. Chris Marie. Shani Wasserman. I don't recognize that name. Welcome, Shani. Johann Bachhuisen. Good morning. Doing the school run, but listening in the car. And then here we have Donald McNichol. Good morning. Thank you for the great work you've been doing. And Suzanne von Thun. Welcome to you. You listened to the John B. Wells. Yep, that was, thank you. John B. Wells, I was invited on the program, about a year and a half ago, something like that, maybe a little bit longer ago, because people kept asking for me to go on there, and they contacted me. Gabriel Krause just subscribed. Wow, that's not the same Gabriel Krause I know of, is it? It's not spelled the same way, I don't think. There's an O instead of an A there. But yeah, they invited me on, and then I went on, and after that first interview, John B. Wells and his wife Brandy called me and talked to me for like a half an hour. They were so excited. They really enjoyed me being on there, and it just never really cropped up very often. But I've wound up being kind of like the filling guy for them. They oftentimes have guests that aren't able to make it, or they can only stay for a certain period of time. So what they've done a lot, I've been on the program several times this year already, 3 or 4 times, maybe before this one here, for 30 minutes. They asked me to come on and talk about a topic, and I'm happy to do it. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the interview. Thank you for that. Marissa Bessler already said hello to you. Nick von Rensburg, and Donald is from Oranje. I didn't know we had viewers in Oranje. That's pretty cool. And Anna, 1914. Boy, were you born in 1914? You are an old lady. Sorry, just kidding. Somebody from Facebook is following us. How does that happen from Facebook? Terry Shelby, thank you for following us. Great to wake up with this song. I give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's Giselle. She's fantastic. And Adrian Oddendorf. Isn't that the name of the gentleman from the Natal Native contingent in the Zulu movie? Oddendorf, who was warning them, they're coming to wipe out your little contingent. Oddendorf, yeah. Natal Native contingent. Remember that? The Zulu-Boer War. Not Zulu War, the Anglo-Boer War. The Anglo-Zulu War. Good Lord, this must be late. Jean Telfon here. Welcome to Fred Riley. Rolinda Engelbrecht Colley. Where did Colley go? Come back here. Okay. Oh, it's not working here. Come on. Okay, I was there already. Now we're here. The critical review, I already got that. There's Colley. Danica Fisher, welcome to you. Mike Lupscher, the G-Man. Okay. It says, Duncan Goeiemorgen, Corner Chris. Pardon my lack of decorum, but court-martial me. Ek new net vodka. I need to find the pot of coffee. That's okay. You just got up. I got it. Bones, good morning. Just wondering why President Trump hasn't taken more aggressive action against South Africa yet. Well, they're giving South Africa all the rope they need to hang themselves. Trump is hoping that he doesn't have to kick them out of AGOA. Also, you have to remember, Bones, I mean, South Africa is like this important to Trump. This important. You know, you've got Panama Canal, Greenland, Gaza, Ukraine, DEI, all the other nonsense going on. Trump has got a multi-spectral, multi-sector approach to wiping these people out. Pablo Charlie, are you here? Did you notice my hat, Pablo Charlie? Do you see that, Pablo? You see what that is? Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And the shirt's the same, brother. Check it out. I bought these in honor of you so I could wear them on the program because I know you love the football. So there you go. I couldn't resist. I went to the discount warehouse place and these were dirt cheap. I mean, I paid for this probably a third of what they normally charge if I went online and bought it at one of the sports shops. Yep. Discount clubs can be great sometimes. And they just got on the shelf like today. So I got a shirt and I got a couple caps. The other cap is nice too. Okay, so Carrie McDougall, thank the good interview with Isaac. Oh, on Newspod. Thank you. Did that just appear? I thought that was on already. And Sonia G, welcome to you. Cameron Booth, Pablo Charlie, Tractor Champ, PJ Bota, Peter John Fust, Tristan Klein, Armageddon, Zander van der Rensburg, MJ. Saw that game the Eagles kicked butt. I didn't watch it. I quit watching the NFL. I try to watch the Colts, but they suck. It's hard to do. Ulrich Fenter's back. Pablo Charlie already said. Your outro reminds me of how quickly life goes by. Oh, yeah, the one I put together. Yeah, no, I mean, I like that song. I know it's an AI-generated song, but I like that, you know. And so I started using that song, and I just took photographs, select one, because I don't have all my photographs in the same place because I've had like 4 different PCs and laptops, and I've got on backup storage. So I had a selection of what I needed here on this PC, and on the external drive I have hooked into it. And I just started downloading this. It took a while. It took me hours to put that thing together, and then, time them so the sequence went well. That's a lot of work to do that, folks. I mean, a lot of work. But anyway, it was worth it. And I hate when they put these shirts. Look at this. They put the tag right here, right there on the shoulder. What kind of moron does that? Ugh, it's very annoying. So it's just irritating me. So I'm going to have to rip that thing out later on. But then you got to get close to the seam. Otherwise, you get itching all the time. Ugh. Anyway, first world problems, guys. First world problems. Derek Duprier. Hello, me. Russia apparently gave a promise to South Africa. For what? Hope you're doing well, Chronic. Well, I'm doing all right. Thank you very much. It's been a busy day, as always. A little disappointed in the downtick in the number of views and the number of subscribers. We are crawling, trying to get to that 45,000 mark. And we're just creeping along. We're only getting like 300 or 400 subscribers today, which, a month ago would have been like, wow, that's a good day. Today, that's like, crap. We didn't get 1,000. We didn't get 1,500 or 1,200. Yeah. But, so a little bummed out about that. I was hoping to get 45,000 today. Doesn't look like we're going to make it. We're 36 short of making to 45,000. But, we might make it because that number is based on the West Coast time. That's when they updated at YouTube. So it's 12:15 here, which means I got 3 hours. So maybe we'll make it. Who knows? But I would have thought we made it earlier in the evening. But anyway, 288 people currently here. You guys just really warm my heart. Thank you so much for being here. Zima Volmerons. By the way, some people watching my videos say that I talk too fast. That's true. I do talk fast. That's because I have a lot to say, and there's only so much time. If you're having trouble understanding me because I talk too fast, underneath the video, there's a little closed caption. Click on that, and then the text, they won't get it all correct, but you'll get the gist of it, and you can follow along with the closed caption. It's like watching a French movie, except that, there's no sex scenes here. No bare breasts and no sex scenes. Sorry about that. You'll have to go to my OnlyFans channel if you want to see that. Dennis says, thank you for the answer. That's all I wanted to hear. Okay, cool beans. Marius Fent is back. Welcome to you. Roxy loves the new Trump. Yeah, the new Trump is very popular. The Curiosity Nuggets is back. Kenpachi ZA, good morning. Welcome to you. Zoltrix Gaming, Corne Van Rooyen, Pablo Charlie says, okay. Yeah. Mexico, Canada, Panama, Denmark, Gaza, everyone's backing down, but the South Africans think that the ANC thinks they're going to stand up to Trump. Vicky said, we did vote. We always vote. The point is it has no impact. Well, actually, you may have voted, Vicky, but the majority of white South Africans didn't vote, or at least half of them didn't vote, and only 31% of the country voted in last year's elections, or 38. Yeah, 31 previous time, 38 this time. Yeah, if every eligible white and colored voter and Indian voter went out and voted against the ANC would have lost. You've got 4.8 million white South Africans, and if they all voted for a party that wasn't the ANC, then it's going to get you about 3.2 million votes right there. The ANC only got 9 million votes. That's 3.2 just right there. Then if you throw in color voters and say you get about 60% of the 6 million, that's going to give you another 4 million. That's 7 million right there. And then you'll probably get almost all Indians who vote against the ANC. There'll be some exceptions. 1.3 million, you say you get 1 million of those. That's 8 million right there. And that's before you even talk about getting any black Africans. And, instead of the DA getting 3.5 million and the Freedom Front Plus getting a few 100,000 and the ACTP getting a few 100,000, suddenly you've got 8-9 million and the ANC is rivaled. And it's a real challenge. And that is very possible by people simply showing up at the polls, and they're not doing it. You may have voted Vicky. I vote in every election, no matter how hard it is to do, but I vote in every single election. So I appreciate where you're coming from. But people don't vote. Jacques Van Niemann says, I see my comments in the Odamic upcoming live stream gets deleted. This guy seems to be ANC supporter looking for, at his Facebook, you see him campaigning for ANC. I don't have any views, Jacques. I'm walking into it agnostic. I haven't researched him at all. I'm not going to ask him about his views. I mean, that's not what it's about. It's about finding about the response to the Chamber of Commerce. Your comments are getting deleted by YouTube. My moderators can't delete comments on my pages, and I have not deleted any comments on that. In fact, I didn't even know there were any comments on it. I just posted a short while ago. So if your comments are being deleted, it's YouTube doing it. Work from home, welcome to you. More. How do you like it? Actually, you're saying more. I get it. It's morning. Anyway, but it looks like more. Mike is in from Pennsylvania. You're up late, young man. What's going on over there? Rolf Fundamava, hello to you. Michael Marks, Haotang nonstop rain. That's what I've been hearing. John James, if you want to know the real truth about South Africa, they highly recommend you read a book called Diplomacy by Deception, written by John Coleman. Well, thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate that. Hilton McCabe, enjoying your views from Australia. Hey, we've got folks down under. Crikey. Yeah, good stuff. Throw a shrimp on the Barbie. Chris, they're taking land. I know they are, Edward. That's why I made a video earlier. And some smart-ass black supremacist racist came on there and said, look, this American sees a video and assumes that it's land invasion. Facts, folks. In fact, I confirmed that video was taken by a security group as a land invasion was taking place, and that's what was taking place there. So I don't just show things out of the blue. And I had a reliable source, and he confirmed it through another source. And so that's that video. Plus, the rest of the video, I had SABC interviewing the people who are doing land invasions in Seshego. I didn't make that up. SABC covered it. I mean, if SABC covers it, a land invasion, then it must be real. I mean, they're not going to cover this stuff. That's state-owned propaganda. And you notice there's been no follow-up of Seshego, which took place on the 1st of February, now 17 days ago. No, I know they're taking land all over the place. It's going to get really spicy here very quickly, and this is going to be a situation where it spirals out of control. It's going to spiral completely out of control unless the government takes action. And so far, they've been sitting on their haunches and doing nothing. And that's a problem. Steve Hofmeyer mentioned the 2018 promise from Trump last night. I don't recall such a promise. There was no promise. I'll have to ask Steve what he's talking about. There is no promise. It was one tweet. One tweet. There was no interview. There was no press release. There was no executive order. It was one tweet. And I'll stand on correction if I'm wrong. But I remember very clearly. Because AfriForum had managed to get on to Tucker Carlson, and Trump was watching Tucker Carlson every night back then. We know he was. It was obvious from what he was saying. He was, and that's why he got on the kick of that. So, but AfriForum didn't even see Trump. Papajusi, more Chris. Okay. Oh, More. You guys say More. Sorry, got another morning. Good morning to you. Line in the sand. Good morning from Antipedes Windhoek. Welcome, Windhoek, one of my favorite places. Liesel van Wyk, welcome to you. Good morning. I remember everybody's saying morning now. It's More. Yaku Basson, welcome. The G-Man. Hans van Staden, thank God, the father for President like Donald Trump. Hi there from a wet Johannesburg, says Daniel Sten. Marquis Pretorius, Angie Brandt. Karen Janssen van Rensburg, Sie Volmans. I found my child's stolen bicycle myself, then went to the police. They asked for a petrol money because they had to go to a private car. Yeah, no, I believe it's true. I know. I've lived all over Africa. That's the case. When I was in the Côte d'Ivoire, the military stopped me and tried to shake me down, demanded I give him a ride. I told him, I'm not giving you a ride. Non, c'est pas possible. Je ne fais pas quelque chose comme ça. Parce que la voiture n'est pas à vous, c'est à l'ambassade des États-Unis. Donc, pour cette raison, je ne peux pas prendre les soldats dans le véhicule. C'est impossible. And they stared at me like, what do you mean it's an embassy car? You know, this is the auto stop. We can make you give us a ride. And I explained to them that if you get my vehicle and you discharge a weapon or you damage the seats because you're military gear, who's going to pay for that? And if you divert me from my mission to get back to the embassy, you're going to have to answer to your foreign ministry. And they're like, ugh. I said, that's all right, guys. Just get it. I'll give you a ride. Just put your weapons down here in the front. And I gave him a ride. Yeah, Chris Marie, I'm mad you got to go work. Roadkill, welcome to you. And Chronic, we were able to apply for refugee status before Trump mentioned it. Oh, were we able? Oh, it's a question. No, South Africa, you could apply for. You can always apply for refugee status anywhere, but there was no specific program targeting South Africa, so you would have had to prove your case. And I know people have tried. I don't know if they've been successful. I'm not aware of anybody from South Africa getting refugee status before, but you could have applied, yeah. Hey, Chris, really appreciate you and glad I found this community. Much love from ZA, says Fred. Now, well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. I'm really glad that people are able to find the channel. Please tell people. That's why I asked. The best thing you can do for me is tell me. Copy's back. Now, Copy, you said last night that you were white in the chat at the end. I was watching the chat just because, you know, I end the stream doesn't mean I don't watch the chat when it's done, because sometimes trolls come in there and you have to PK them. But you're confusing me. I thought you were colored. I don't care. That's your business. But anyway, you threw me off. Anyway, you can be whatever you identify as. I identify as a lampshade. Did you guys know that I identify as a lampshade? You know why? I identify as a lampshade because I shed light on the world. My audience has been here for a long time, has heard that joke before. It's a dad joke. All right. Apparently, I've got the alerts turned off because of the interview earlier, so let me turn them back on. Where the heck are they at? Where are my alerts window at here? Where the heck's it at? Huh? Where the heck is it at? It's not there. Oh, there it is. Gosh bless it. Okay, sorry. A couple people subscribed. We didn't see them subscribe. Vicky Pocket, I was overjoyed when the ANC didn't win, but I've always voted for DA. Big mistake. You're very welcome. Well, the DA is disappointing a lot of people. I'm not saying it's a big mistake, but I mean, you can decide for yourself. I mean, where are they at on expropriation? Where are they at on Bella? Where, you know, so Siviwe Garuba didn't go to the signing ceremony. Whoop-de-doo. That really stopped it. Yeah, now she says she's going to enforce it. Daniela Burga, welcome to you. From Brockenfell. Hey, Joe Emilio lives there. Around there. Wilhelmine Nell, good morning. What happened to the poll yesterday? Sorry, I didn't stay. It was 85% that we're going to leave. Shall we do another poll tonight? Do you guys want another poll? Because there's 300 of you here now. Steve does a weekly. Yeah, I know. This is where he mentioned it. No, I'm familiar with the video, Fred. Yep, I know. I'm very familiar with it, but I don't watch Steve's video very often because I just don't have the time. Plus, you know, I have to listen really carefully because he's got that deep Alfred Collins voice, and you got to listen very carefully, make sure you're catching all of it. Yep. Yeah, so you don't need to make a borehole in the whole train tunnel. Good God. Logan Moonian, what did you get? Good morning from Geneva, Indiana. See, you're not sleeping like me. Well, no, I just finished my radio program, my radio appearance on the Caravan of Midnight with John B. Wells. And so normally this would be 11 o'clock. I'm doing it at midnight because that program ran. They are on Central Time because they're based in Texas. So I had to do it on their time. And so tomorrow morning, which is already today, I will be doing an interview with Neil Diamond. Where it began. Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you, sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. Anyway, wrong Neil Diamond. Anyway, really enjoyed the interview with Vena last night. Yeah, thank you, Neville. We usually have good conversations. I don't think we've had a bad conversation, but that was really good. That interview with Vena, I think, is the most we've ever had for an interview with him on our segment Fireside with the Colonels. That had, let me see the total here, 9,300 views. Yep, I even picked up a few subscribers, 9 from that. So 9,300 views. That's pretty good. The one I had the night before the sunrise, I was up for 3.5 hours, was 6,800. And the Sunday edition was 8,800. So the live streams are looking pretty healthy here. And that was, the live streams, the only thing kept me going, folks, is the usual suspects, my friends who stick with the channel for a long time when it was hidden in the gulag by YouTube. They kind of kept me going because I several times felt like giving up doing this stuff because, I mean, it's not a living. It's not, it's certainly not for fame, never for fame. And it's just a labor of love. And it was originally meant just to support my consultancy. But I wound up turning into a career, a side career of journalism, which is pretty cool. As a published author and as an academic, among other things, an intelligence analyst, being a journalist is kind of neat. But it's not my main affectation. So, Corrupt Cops, I paid off a cop on a train in Ukraine in 2011. Okay, Mr. Psych CD, I've never paid a cop. What's this? Illegal invaders have been warned by Polokwane municipality that they will be subjected to the full force of the law. Okay, well, it's been 2 weeks. The full force law haven't been evicted. I mean, you can threaten people, but unless you do it, it's different. And Leslie Ann Moon is in from Bolito. Welcome to you. Nick Groves, what's going on, Nikki? How are you? And that's from Neville, okay? Always asking about your mom. Guess most of us identify as rugby balls and getting kicked and tossed around. So's couch should be expropriated without compensation. Well, wait till there's more money in it. Oh, and there is somebody listening from Polokwane, Petersburg. Okay, cool beans. Pizza's bag. Yeah, I had some racist black supremacists come on my channel and give me crap and type Petersburg wrong. Spelled it Peter as in English, P-E-T-R. I'm like, nope, that's not the way you spell Petersburg. The video with yourself, Colonel Event, was very hectic, very interesting stuff. Thank you, Istafak. Please gently more the like button. Please do. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. D is also Muppets. Yeah, video. Okay. Neville says, Mom is fast asleep. Line in the sand. I live close on the U.S. Embassy in Windhoek. Only last week they took down the pride flag and returned. Yes. Stupid pride flag. Idiocy. Pride is not America. The American flag is America. It represents everyone. Pride only represents certain people. And it's wrong. I wouldn't expect them to put up an Eagles flag. Unless you were in the state capitol and the Eagles just won. It's different. Chris Shelton says South Afrikaners are far from needing refugee status. A true Afrikaner sorts out his own problems, never on shame on those showing up. So much interest running right now. What is your problem, dipshit? Why are you telling people to fuck off? What are you coming in the chat for and act like an asshole? No one in here is talking about running anywhere, shithead. Who is this turd? What an ass. What an ass. And don't come in my chat and spew your nonsense. I'm not telling anybody to go anywhere. Dipshit. Wow, there's some real stupid people out there. All right, where are we at here? So I've already been past this stuff. Alfonso, I still okay. Can you do a chat about this ban nuclear weapons? Just wondering the details. I don't have details on that. Just supposition. Vanit has better information than me, so that's not really something I can talk about. Roy Pike, welcome to you. Finally catching live being. Well, I'm glad you're here. El Marie Taylor, welcome to you. Untraceable budget line item 4.7 trillion in payments. Wow, that's interesting, Liesel. Wow. Reg Dodd, James Wallace, Ruvin, Marissa, PJ Bota, Play 24, and Gibrant already saw. Lauren Clegg, the ANC will never relinquish power regardless of what the votes say. Well, that's the fear many people have. Problem is dead people are voting for the ANC. Well, they vote for Democrats too, so. Jean Milan, Peter Talliard, good morning. JJ Pretorius, Colonel, would like to hear your analysis of the Ukraine-Russia situation. What do you think the outcome could be with Russia meeting? I think that what will happen is that that the Russians will be able to incorporate the territory they've had. There'll be a serious push by the Russians to incorporate everything east of the Dnieper River, which is going to be a hard sell. And I think they're probably just going to, relief in place, and that's where it's going to be. There might be some minor border changes, but the Crimea will stay in Russian hands, and Donetsk and places like that will stay in Russian hands, and so it'll be it. Ukraine has screwed the pooch here with their behavior and cost the lives of hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians and Russians, and Russia too. They're both guilty here. Charles, okay, in New Zealand, okay, it's going to start in Namibia soon. Well, Namibia expropriation has been going on for years, but only a few farms have been expropriated, and it's been with compensation. I was overjoyed when the ANC didn't win. Okay, that's where I was at before. Okay, and it jumped back on me. Okay, most of us identify as rugby balls. Already got that, so I was down here. I was almost all caught up when that guy said that stupid comment. Love John B. Wells. Yes, he's married to Brandy Wells. She was a Sharkie. She was a Shark girl. She was a cheerleader for the Sharks, the Natal Sharks. Michael Kutsia says, you are childish. We want future for our children. Shame on you. Hey, Michael Kutsia, fuck off, fuckwad. No one asked you to come on my channel. Childish, fuck you. You dickhead. You like that? Is that childish? No one asked you to come on this channel. Want a future for your children? What are you talking about? Fuck you. Fuck you. You like that? Fuck off. Yeah. Who the hell are you, asswipe? Come on my channel at this hour. Fucking dickweed. You want a future for your children? Give a fuck. That's your problem. Where do you want your future to be? Antarctica? Shithead. Was that clear enough for you? Did you catch that? Did that, was I talking too fast for you? Cops are different in different countries. Salute, Colonel. Do you think it's possible South Africa become... No, that's not going to happen. South Africa, we wouldn't want South Africa to be our 51st state. Nope, not going to happen. Linda Ocamp, welcome. If I take what? Southern's having their budget speech tomorrow and already starting. They want 300 billion more rand, I think is what he said. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Collie Hunt. Yeah, Chris Shelton doesn't know South African history. Yeah, Afrikaners don't flee. Really? You never heard of that? They fled the British. They went to the inland. Yeah, and then after the Boer War, some of them went to Argentina. Others went to freaking, Kenya. Good Lord. There's always some ass that shows up. Looking more like war between U.S. Israel against Hamas and Egypt. Nope. Is that a question? Looks like a question. Nope, not looking like war. Oh, Michael could see it. My humble apologies. Okay, my humble apologies. Now I feel like an ass. Forgive me, Michael. Yeah, see, that's the problem. My apologies, Michael. If people hear this, I'm apologizing to Michael. Michael wasn't talking to me. My apologies, but I just dealt with the other gentleman, the Shelton gentleman. So my apologies for that, Michael. My sincere apologies. I hope you're not offended. I hope you're still here, and I hope you accept my apology. I apologize. I feel very bad about that now, Michael. My apologies. I hope you're still here and you haven't left. Now I feel very badly. I hope Michael's still here. Oh, no worries. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. Look, I feel bad. Okay, I'm here. I'm all good. No, I feel bad. I feel bad. Because I think I laid it on you the most. I used the F word mostly on you. So, okay, we're going to roll the tape back. Okay. Oh, and Michael was speaking to some other Chris, so I'm not talking to him. God, oh, shame. Oh, shame. I feel so bad now. I really do. I really do. Thank you for clarifying, Michael. But I think people understand, you appreciate it, right? I mean, we're getting so many trolls that come in and act like fools. I mean, what's with this Chris Shelton guy telling me to be ashamed of myself? Or did I mistake Chris too? Were you talking to someone else? It's my fault. Guys, I violated the cardinal rule. I just ignore if it says Chris unless you put the @ symbol. And so I'm guilty. I'm guilty there. Well, we all make mistakes. That doesn't make it any softer. That doesn't make it any softer. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to get a PK now. Blixen me. Away Masakina. That's just not good. That's not good. Abusing my loyal viewers. Now I feel like a cad. I feel like a cad. Vilma, how you doing? I see you're chatting tonight. That's good. Copy says you definitely from with that language. No, I'm a soldier, man. That was the PG version. That was the PG version. I was talking to the guy who said we were cowards. Oh yeah, okay. Well, okay. Let me be clear about that. Okay, let me address that very quickly. I've said that with. Sorry, there's some very strong wind out there. It's beating inside the house. There's a big window right here. I addressed that in the comments I told Vayner, but I made a video about this the other day. Listen, if you're a South African and you have a problem with people who are leaving the country, shut your mouth. Unless you're in their shoes, you don't know the circumstances. And by the same token, if you're leaving the country and you say people stay are fools, shut your mouth because you can't speak for them. You can only speak for you. I can't speak for you. Only you can speak for you and for your kin. And what decision you make is your decision. I hope it's the right decision to stay. If you have to go, to go. It's up to you. So no one is an authority on your situation except you. That's the bottom line. And if people want to call you names and say your fear, well then, yeah, again, which was pointed out here a few moments ago, very clever point out, you ever heard of the Great Trek? You know, these people were tired of it. They were tired of it. They didn't vote out the Brits. They didn't overthrow the Brits. They didn't lead an insurrection against the British government. They just picked up their stuff and fled, went to the interior. Oh my goodness. Give gas. Gib Gas. Ich will Spaß. All right. Sorry, Michael. I feel really that's gonna be stuck on stupid now for about 20 minutes because I did that. Please let President Trump's leadership. At least I made you famous, Michael. 3 police officers arrested and some others on a farm attack. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Charmaine, I got that. We figured that out. Sam Najoma kicked the bucket last week. Yep, they planted him in the morning. And yeah, I know. He kicked the bucket. 95 he got to. The Colonel is Gen X. He hurts feelings. I'm baby boomer, technically. Technically a baby boomer, guys. But thanks for calling me Gen X. That means I look younger than I am. Yeah, I am the last of the baby boomers. The last of the baby boomers. The official end date for baby boomers is December 31st, 1964. From 1945 to 1964, a 20-year period. And I slipped in just under the wire on Christmas Day. Okay. That gets a like from me, says Play. Okay. You got told off. Yeah, sorry, man. He's been saying when Chris sees it, he will apologize. Yeah, yes, I did. Did I not? And here I am. I'm like almost in tears apologizing over that stuff. But the other guy, I don't know what his problem was. He got a timeout and he left because he's a coward. So they tried to break into our house twice in the past 24 hours. Oh my goodness. Kai, I got you, man. I got you. Yes, I did off like a rocket. Pablo Charlie, do you like this, the Eagle stuff? Dude, I bought this because of you. And actually, it looks really cool. I love the teal. Teal is a cool color. Look at that. That is like the coolest hat. Now, does anybody what LIX means? It doesn't mean licks. What does licks mean? Anybody know? I'm sure somebody knows what that means. A lot of Boer ancestors fled Europe. Exactly, they fled. How do you think they became Boers? The Huguenots fled after the Edict of Nantes was revoked in 1680. They fled. The Edict of Nantes was written by a French king in 1590, granting the French Huguenots, the Protestants, religious freedom. In 1680, the French king revoked it out of jealousy, and they hunted down, murdered, raped, slaughtered, burned alive, stole their property, the Huguenots, and they fled in mass, those who didn't get killed. They went to the Spanish Netherlands, and they went to Berlin because Frederick the Great, or one of the Fredericks, Frederick, one of them, invited them to live up there. And then some of them in the Netherlands eventually relocated to South Africa, and others went on to England. But yeah, the Huguenots, they fled. The Dutch didn't flee, but they did. Germans fled for a better life. They came to South Africa for a better life. It's always been the history. So, I mean, saying, real Afrikaners will never leave. Guys, your community was only formed a few hundred years ago. Where were you 1,000 years before that? Running around Europe. Get a grip. Get a grip. My family fled Holland to Southern Africa in 1673. KP Diaga, I got you beat, brother. My ancestors came to Jamestown Colony in 1621. But that won't get me a cup of coffee. Loads of South Africans immigrated from South Africa in the past few decades. Yep. And this is why people coming out here. This is all part of a concerted effort to try to undermine people's freedom and liberty. You can do what you want to do as long as it's not morally bankrupt or illegal. And if that means moving to New Zealand or moving to the Congo or moving to America, that's on you. And if people tell you that there's something wrong with you because you do that, screw them. Screw them. They're just asses. They're just jealous asses. And this whole thing about, only poor people go. Last time we had a couple people who claim they're multimillionaires on here said they're going. They might be multimillionaires, but I didn't see any super chats. So it's just a couple small ones last night. So if you're a multimillionaire, you should be super chatting the hell out of this channel. There's sure a lot of men all up in the modem world watching a grown man cry in public. It's just demoralizing. It depends what they're crying about. It depends. Taylor Swift must love that cap. Do you guys see the meme or the AI song about Taylor Swift? I watched it earlier. It's too funny. Oh, it's too funny. Etienne Boyson said, loving your channel question. You think we could be headed towards sanctions? Yeah, I do. I'm not predicting sanctions, but the ANC is going out of its way. South African politicians are going out of their way to insult America and lie about what's going on and attack us. Again, this is not about Afrikaners. That's just a little piece of it. Oh, there's a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for that, Zeb Volmarans. Yeah, it's not about that. That's a piece of it. This is about the constant undermining. And I don't know how much clearer can I make it. I didn't make this up. This isn't me making it up. It's right there in the executive order. Right there at the bottom. It says right there. It's in highlight in yellow. And reinvigorating its relations with Iran to develop commercial, military, that's not good, and nuclear arrangements. Seriously? You think we're going to let South Africa's government work with Iran for nuclear technology and let them get away with it? I don't think so. Thank you, Misty. I do look good in my Springbok tops. Michael Byrne, good morning from the Cradle of Humankind. In the Mahalisburg. One of my favorite places, Michael Byrne. Been there, been to the Cradle of Humankind. Lovely spot. I've also gone quad bike riding, not too far from there. And I've gone zip lining in the Mahalisburg. Yep. I love the Mahalisburg. Cool beans. My ancestors left Leipzig, and same for my mom's people. She's Muller. I think there's more German than Dutch. Probably. The largest DNA contribution to the Afrikaners as such is actually German, folks, DNA-wise. Dutch comes in second. Jonathan Dutoy, goeiemorgen to you. Okay, and Reynard Luke, busy completing my affidavit. Some scores, points of MK veterans, including the MK party. That's good. That's good. That's a good one. I like that. Well, a couple of super chats came out. I didn't see the other one. So, C-17s could be the next great trek. That's true. Sorry, I slept in this morning, says Mickey. No worries, Mickey. How you doing? Michael could see even the Germanic tribes were fleeing or migrating back in the day when they had to. We moved for thousands of years. Exactly. That's human nature. The Nguni-speaking peoples migrated from the Cameroon region, West Africa, made their way across down the Rift Valley. They ran into the Neolithic peoples in Uganda and South Sudan, and it was kind of a wall. Those people wouldn't budge. They wouldn't budge. So they turned south. Less resistance. They ran into the Pygmies in the Congo, and they ran into the Khoisan San. Richard Watts just subscribed. Thank you for your subscription, Ratchet. Yeah, and so, that's the history of humankind. People migrate. How do you think the Aborigines got to Australia? They didn't take a yacht there. They migrated for thousands of years. Yep. We'll have to research American football now for when we get there. Normally just guess for Subaru. Everyone, please like the chat. Edwin Conroy, thank you for being there for us and for understanding our situation. You're a true friend. Heartbeats Port. Yeah, I love that. I just don't like the poo smell from the dam. They've kind of ruined it with all that muck in there. Good luck to those millionaires getting their millions out of the country. Well, Armageddon, rich people are smart. Most of them. That's why they're rich most of the time. And they know how to move their money. So I wouldn't worry too much about rich people. They manage to figure it out. So there's the 10 Rand super chat from Zema Volmarans. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to report on that. I have to make a video after this about how the ANC is getting ignored. That'll be a short video. So Donald Trump says, tucked the hand, not the face. Did I not predict it? Did I not predict it was going to happen? Did I not say it was the height of arrogance for the ANC to send a delegation to Washington to lecture Donald Trump how he misunderstands the word nil? Look, I'm going to take credit for it, but it wasn't exactly a hard prediction to make. I mean, it's not like I had to sit around and go, gee, what will happen when the ANC sends a delegation to Washington? Will they be greeted like kings and feted at a party by Donald Trump? Or will they be told to hit the road, Jack, and don't come back? Oh, the German politician crying in front of a room of clapping women. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize he cried. I missed that part. Okay, gotcha. Well, I said it depends on the circumstances. That would be inappropriate. Next week, another mass gathering asking Trump to accept Kurt Darren and hip-hop as well. Come on, man. We all need a little Calfoot silk in our lives. Lutke Brummer, ANC communists. Yeah, they are. Who said they were liberal, man? They're not liberal. Okay, and Martin Fundameva, I went to Home Affairs for passport renewal. Was told the photo camera's broken. It will take months to repair. It's clear the word is out to block us. Please mention this to all. Okay, Martin. I'll do that. Thank you. There's a super chat from Robert Thompson. There you go. Thank you for the super chat, Robert. 100 Rand. Thank you for that. It's all about Israel. Shocking news. No, it's not, Jonathan. My goodness, Jonathan, you're here. Where have you been? It's not about Israel. It's not. Do you watch my videos, Jonathan, or do you just show up in live streams? I mean, honestly, because I don't recall you commenting on the video. I explained what this is all about. I also explained for the past several years that South Africa's got trouble coming their way, the ANC. And I wasn't talking about sanctions or any of this other stuff. I was talking about AGOA. It's at risk. JP Kutsia, Heidi Upa is here. Ah, okay. Your uncle is here. Okay. There's another super chat. Thank you for that. Ride restoration for the... How much? Let's see how much that was. Robert Thompson's 100 Rand. And then, we got a couple more here. Guys, I'm seeing some small super chats. I'm not complaining. But it gives me an indication you probably can't afford a super chat. If you can't afford a super chat, thank you for your super chat. But please don't give money if you can't afford it. But Robert's got the dancing thing going on there, man. We'll do the Trump thing. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man. When you're short on the dough, you can go there to the YMCA. I'm sure they can help you today. Hey. Robert Visser, good morning from the Lowfeld. All right. Did you guys see the drama in Germany going to be? Yeah, the elections are going to be exciting. I think AfD is going to do very well. I'm not going to make a prediction there, though, because I don't have my ear to the ground. I don't live in Germany right now. Do you think other countries will accept new applications for work visas from South Africa regarding refugee status? You're talking about two different things there, work visas or refugee status. I'm not sure what your question is, Ride All Day. South Africa thinks they're still dealing with Brandon. Exactly. That's right. Let's go, Brandon. They think they're dealing with Brandon. No, they're not. South Africa is stuck in a time where the officials, that is, Dutch people are actually a subset of the German people, specifically the Saxon tribes. So I guess Afrikanerdom is yet another subset of that. Well, Anna, the Frisians aren't a subset of the Germans, and I have Frisian ancestry too. Dutch, Frisian, Danish, Norwegian, Celt, Scots, and German, and some German Swiss. And Norman, which is Vikings. Charles Skeen, Colonel, I don't think the U.S. should invest anything in South Africa. I doubt any of it reaches any of us. Well, actually, Charles, I understand your skepticism, but I can confirm you that money typically goes to where it's supposed to go. I've not executed those programs in South Africa, but I've been in South Africa and seen the outcome of those programs and observed them, but I just wasn't dispensing that money. In other countries in Africa, I was responsible for lots of money in the programs, and it got to the people. So I spent $500,000 building a counseling testing center in Francistown. Thank you, Andres Miller. And it got to the people. It got to them. By the way, last night, Fox Mulder was on here. And the other day, I missed this, but I caught it in a replay of the chat. Someone named Vet for Trump, CV43, Mrs. Lieutenant Commander, an F-18 pilot. I missed that. My apologies for missing your comment. I definitely would have said hello to a fellow veteran from our military. So, Riekert Vista says, thank you for the informative show. You're very welcome. Armageddon, most of those millionaires have already moved their money. Exactly. Many of them got off. Yeah, so Charles Skeen, a lot of that money gets where it's supposed to go. That doesn't mean there's never any graft or any corruption. I'm just saying that it doesn't go to the South African government, so they can't steal it. They can only steal it, take it on the back end from these companies that do this stuff. Bitcoin is back. And who else got you? Chris Shelton, you guys are getting me wrong. As an Afrikaner myself who loves this country, this is the time for us to be standing together. Leaving is another victory. Chris, are you the one that I gave a timeout to, and I gave you more? All right. Did I misunderstand something? I got it wrong. I got it wrong with someone else. So I'm with Michael. So Chris, did I misunderstand you? If I did, I'm going to apologize to you too. Just let me know, and I'll apologize. Okay, I'll do it right here on air. It's hieroglyphs on a rock in Australia. Rumor has it, Barbie. Where's Barbie? I don't see my name Barbie here. Talliard says, ANC nuclear technology, same sense. Yeah, it's pretty scary, isn't it? Actually, a mixture, a bit French, a lot of Irish, and some German. Welsh, Irish, Scots, well, that's quite a mix there. You know? Michael, see, I'll follow hockey over these. I love hockey. Oh, I'm a huge ice hockey fan. Vegas Golden Knights, and then in the American Hockey League, it's Hershey Bears. Paul Butler said the problem is that a lot of people have become so used to the crime, they don't. It's right. They're inured to it, and it's been going on for a long time. I see Fikile Mabalu has now said we don't need the U.S. and stand for business. Well, we're not in. That's the irony. We're not in South Africa's business. That's what's so comical about this. My maiden name is Murray. My mom was a Seaman, so I'm Scots and Dutch. Did say until investigation completed. Yeah. And Christian Fandevalt, what's the housing like when we become a refugee? Well, I can't answer that question, Christian. Thank you for the 14 Rand super chat, because I don't know where you're going to be. The different housing situations for different people. Earlier, Vanet was saying, well, they'll probably put them in FEMA camps. No, they won't. They're not going to put them in FEMA camps. People come here as refugees. Usually there's housing set up for them. If not, they're put in hotels until they're put in a place where they can find an apartment to rent or something like that. I don't know. If you're wealthy, get what you want. You don't need to rely on a stipend from the program. You just do what you want. It's a free country, man. You want to pay my mortgage? You're welcome to do that. I'm sorry, Christian, but it's just, there's no answer to that question unless you tell me where you're going and I talk to an official in town where you're going. There's no way to know that. Housing is very different all over the country. Yep, they're not picking up the phone for the ANC in the White House. Apartheid lasted 33 years. ANC's been in power 31. Stark difference in how South Africa's gone. Yeah, South Africa went up and improved and became a world power under the National Party. Thank you, Maureen, for your membership. All we know is that my bucket list will change to the impossibility in South Africa. The only one that won't change is coming to use. Okay? Oh, that's right. Chris, no, I did misunderstand. Thank you, Charmy. Remind him. He did say screw everybody. I didn't misunderstand him. I was right. Okay. Wouldn't it be interesting to see our South African? Yeah, I'm not going to apologize then. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot that's what he said. Crystal Stamen. And then Ride Restoration. Thank you for your super chat. That's the super chat. Trump knows exactly how to deal with the ANC. Yep. I think he does. I think he does. I think he does. I think he does. Cyril's chuffed Africa's heading into a new direction, his words. I don't think they'll be rebuilding a relationship with the U.S. because their friends are out in China. Well, good luck to them. I see how they survive without the U.S. There won't be any tents, Charles. Where are you getting this nonsense from? I love how people that have never worked with the U.S. government are experts on what we do for refugees. Who here in the chat has ever worked with refugees anywhere in the world? Who here has ever worked with asylum seekers in the world? Live in Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana. I think it's safe to say I can spot Zimbabwe. Farm was burnt down in Zambia and our German neighbors murdered. Good God. Morning from Dispatch. Hey, that's Ronaldo's hometown. Mandy Basson says, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Will I be able to live with a family member or friend in the U.S. under a refugee program? Mandy, that's a very open-ended question. What do you mean? Are you talking about a family member that's with you now that's going to apply for asylum as well? Or are you talking about somebody that's already here? They don't break families apart if they can help that. That kind of defeats the purpose of giving you asylum. So I'm not really sure if I can answer your question because I don't understand it. Or maybe I did answer it. Philip Engelbrecht has become a member. Sorry, I missed that. Kevin Glenn, $10. How about them Eagles? Hey, Kevin, how about them Eagles, man? Check it out. How about them Eagles, man? That is pretty cool. Yeah, love the teal uniforms. All right, where are we at here? Thank you for the $10 super chat. That's awesome. Good stuff, Chris. I'm off to work. Okay, take care. Ricard Fessa, that true as us South Africans have become so desensitized to crime in our country. We actually discussed as a family the other day. We heard about a farm attack just a few farms from us. Yeah, it happens all the time. Carlos Putter, and then Nick, another one, a braai without lamb chops is not a real braai. That may very well be true, Nick, but I don't eat lamb. I don't eat mutton. So I guess I'm just not a real braaier. Our first thought was, luckily not us, and then we have to sharp. Yeah, exactly. That's what you got to do. Pay attention to your security and recheck all your methods. You know, when I went to South Africa in 2022, I spoke to the commercial farmers up in Zeerust about security and about, political situation. And there were about 125, 150 people there in one of the cattle auction spots. There was a big braai afterwards, and I met one of the gentlemen there. He's a former police officer, and he was involved in the community patrol for these guys. While I was still in South Africa, he was out on patrol. A commercial farm was attacked, and they responded. They went out. They trapped. They had him pinned in on a road coming from the property on both ends. They were trapped, the farm attackers. And I guess he got anxious, and they got too close, and then they shot at him, and he got shot. It went under the vest, and he bled out like in 5 minutes. Really horrible, sad story. Gentleman I just met like 10 days or 2 weeks, not even a week before maybe. Really sad situation. He's dead because they responded. Now, the sad part about this is that he's dead, but the really sad part about it is that the government of South Africa doesn't give a shit. And on top of that, the media don't give a crap either. And I know this because not a single media outlet in South Africa covered the news the way it should have been covered, because that commercial farmer was white and the commercial farmer whose farm was attacked was black, and they responded to protect a black man and his family. And he lost his life protecting a black farmer. But they won't tell you that. They'll just tell you that white people are racist. That's what they'll tell you. They won't tell you that. I reported on it, but I had a very small channel at the time, and nobody seemed to give a flying flip except my devoted audience. Donnie is asking, what's the interest rate on $500,000? Well, with $500,000, you're going to get a pretty good interest rate because banks are going to love that kind of cash. I don't have that kind of cash sitting in the bank. It depends. Like right now, I can tell you that the Capital One, thank you for that super chat. Capital One is giving about 4% interest rate, which is pretty good of late because interest rate's been so low until Biden. 4% interest rate on deposits, just normal deposits. So if you put a lot more in there, you get a higher rate than that. You could also get a higher rate by putting money in a certificate of deposit, which locks it up for 6 months, typically a year, sometimes 2 years, and you get a higher rate. But I wouldn't recommend a certificate of deposit. With $500,000, even at 4%, if you had $500,000, you put it in the bank, at the end of the year, you're going to have $20,000 cash. Now, you have to pay taxes on that, so you're going to have less than that. But $500,000, even at 4%, is going to get you $20,000 cash. I mean, that's more money than most people make in a year in South Africa right now. So, yeah, $500,000. If I have $500,000 cash sitting around, I would probably invest a portion of that and keep keep 100,000 in cash as a cushion and invest the other portions. It depends on age too. I mean, if you need the cash. So, yep. My pet rat was a refugee, I think. He passed. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, illegal in Zimbabwe works in my garden sometimes. Does that count? No, it doesn't. SKV9 says we're grateful to U.S. regardless. Arno LaRue, thank you for your passion. Looking where the BE is headed for estate agents is going to be interesting for the property industry as a whole. Yep. My tattoo appointment was scheduled from 11 to 9. The next 2 hours. Oh, my goodness. Mickey's getting a tattoo of an American flag. Mickey, you gave yourself away. I mentioned that in one of my videos. I was trying to protect your identity. But Mickey now is getting the American flag. As I understand, you won't be allowed to take precious metals in the U.S. No, you can't. I mean, you probably take a couple coins, but when you mean metals, like, a couple kilos of them or something like that, no. You can bring things in, but you have to pay duty on a lot of things. So, all right. Carlo Cronje, read an article today, and not that I believe much I read lately, but apparently the EU can't fill the financial shortfall of USAID. Any merit? I like where it's going. No, even if they could, there's another super chat. A lot of tiny super chats coming. Thank you, guys. Even if they could fill it, they're not willing to do it. I mean, the European Union could have kicked in money for the last 22 years if PEPFAR's been around. If the Chinese wanted to do it, they could have done it. There's still need greater than what the Americans were giving. These countries in Africa couldn't cover the gap. So there's been a need for 22 years, and these people don't give a flip. They don't care. They're not. The Scandinavians love to pretend they care about people. All they ever do is fund terrorist groups and studies. Yep, Scandinavia, Sweden, Norway, the Nordic Council. All these people. No, they do studies that benefit terrorists and other groups. Ain't no Eagles fans. Go Packers. Well, I'm a Colts fan when I watch it, but I gave up on it. Enjoying your recommended book. I was seconded to Swapo Coin in mid-80s. Oh, okay, Steve. It's good reading, yeah. There's a great line in that book talking about intelligence officers. Kind of inspired me before I became an intelligence officer. I already wanted to be one. Reading about how the intel officer for 6-1 Battalion or something like that was in his Ratel, and he's taking bits of information coming in on this radio and that radio and putting it together and trying to brief the commander in real time as bullets are whizzing around him and RPGs are exploding and tank rounds are blowing up. And it was really incredible stuff. Met refugees in Mali, DRC, and Uganda asking for work. Okay. The family member and friend is already in the U.S. Ah, Mandy. Okay. Yeah, no, that helps, Mandy. Thank you. Yeah, in that case, if you're applying for refugee status, then you're going to make your intentions known that you would like to go live wherever that person's at. In that case, they probably accommodate you. I can't say for 100% certain because if you're going to go there, that's going to save them money. They're not going to have to find a place for you to live. They're just going to take care of your stipend. So, yeah, I mean, that's something you can ask. But you don't get to pick where you go. You can ask. You can say, I want to go here, but they'll put you where they can put you. Refugee housing pretty decent America from what I hear. Well, there's no refugee housing. They put you wherever. It's not like we have housing for refugees. I helped families from Zimbabwe. One of them was Tom Steele, who was a Master Armor and Royal Marine, whom I wanted you to speak to, but died before he could. Ah, shame. I'm sorry I missed that, Mary. Would like to know, is it about the taste or because they're so cute? Huh? My great-grandparents fled slavery from the British in Ireland, came to South Africa. Solomon, I'm in the proper straw dystopia that is Australia, but at least my kids can play in the park by themselves. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that, Solomon. Mark Needham, thank you. Eagles, thanks for all your insights. You're welcome. Colonel, I have a stupid question, says Ilza, but it's really bothering me. We live very rural, 200 kilometers from the nearest airport. How would it work? Near us is a small airport, but yeah, I was just wondering. Ilza, look, I mean, the situation, there's another super chat. The situation in South Africa is very different than the normal refugee situation. Normally, we're taking refugees from Myanmar or from Darfur or somewhere like that, or Somalia, where, and they get on a plane and they're transported somewhere. So, yeah, you'd fly on a plane. You're probably going to have to go wherever the commercial flight you're put on or a military flight, which is unlikely. And you'll have to go there. Well, they're not going to fly planes all over the place just to convenience people. You're going to have to get yourself to the place. I mean, refugees have to flee on foot to get to a UNHCR camp. So I don't have the answer for you, but I suspect that's the case. 200 kilometers from an airport? Good God, you're out in the bush. Start making a list of all the crimes that affected me personally in the last 30 years. The list is long and shocking. We get used to living in crime. Exactly. You got used to it. No, you can fight for free speech at home and around the world. It's called moral consistency. Yep. I think most South Africans would fit in with the Appalachians because most Southerners are a lot like us. Let us do a thing. Well, not all Appalachians are Southerners. Appalachia runs from Georgia all the way up the East Coast to Maine. That's Appalachia. The stereotype of Appalachians is Southern, yes, but I'm an Appalachian. I'm not a Southerner. It'd be possible to ignore being individually introduced. I don't think it'll work that way. I don't think it'll work that way. Christian Fundabout says, thank you for your service. Really appreciate the guidance through all the fake news and propaganda from media. And I'm trying now to just give people nightly updates, which I'm sure doesn't encourage people, but it's better than just leave them hanging because the groups that we've created, you can't comment in because we don't want thousands of messages in there. Okay. The U.S. is in deep trouble. No, we're not in deep trouble. We were in deep trouble, but we're digging ourselves out now. Likelihood of an estate agent with an American company in South Africa finding employment in America. If you're not to sell real estate, you can find a real estate really easy here. I mean, we got more real estate agents. I mean, frankly, they're not very popular people. I don't like them. But yeah, you can find, estate agents are real estate agent. Yeah, there's tons of real estate agents. You work for a firm, you can start your own firm, your choice. What got my heart pumping and immediately emotional was when Trump used to play the Lee Greenwood song. Yeah. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee. Yep, that's right. Yeah, no, it's that song almost brings tears to my eyes, and sometimes it does. Lee Greenwood, that kind of became the theme song for the first Gulf War, and I didn't even know that. I was in the Gulf War, and I come back and everybody's playing it all the time. It was they're playing it while we were gone, deployed. It was really a big deal. My mother made a huge deal about me being in the Gulf War the first time, and put all the stuff all over in the veterans organization stuff. Yeah, so it was more about her than me, but that's fine if that's what she wanted. Yeah, so are you listening, Mom? Yeah, it's true. I'm telling the truth. Anyway, yeah, no, Lee Greenwood's song is incredible. You can tell he's getting old now. His live performances, these rallies weren't as good, but I can't sing either, so I sing it. I love it. It's a very inspiring song. Yep. Really want to try bison on the Bride. Yeah, Neville, that's an option. You can do that out in Colorado or Wyoming, somewhere like that. Evie, no, they're not the same. Barbecues are typically done with coals and brides are done with wood, although we barbecue with wood too. So, Elmarie Mayer, thank you for the 35 Rand. Nick says, Christo Americans braai on wood or mainly, I just answered that question. Actually, most people braai on or barbecue on gas now. I prefer to use coals, but when I'm out in the Southwest, I like to use mesquite wood. Ooh, that gives a nice flavor, mesquite. Yep. Can't make a braai barbecue on gas. Okay. Actually, shocking. I'm sure everyone has a long list. Yep. What else here? Okay, catching up here. 45. Well, we're approaching. Did we get to 45,000? We're close. 25 away last time I looked. And now we are 2 away. Ooh, we're 2 away from 45,000. Fingers crossed. Can we make it? But it's on Tuesday, not Monday. So, Action says Herman Mashaba has accused a group of white people who held a rally outside the United States of being traitors. Yeah, Herman Mashaba's lost his mind. He's lost his mind. Watch his tweets. Everything is racism. Everything is apartheid. He forgets that it ended 31 years ago, and that he became a multimillionaire under apartheid. So I'm not really sure what his point is here. And he keeps calling white people racist and blaming white people for apartheid when most white people weren't even alive during apartheid. I mean, it's just really sad to see that. It's really, really sad to see that. I interviewed Herman Mashaba at the multi-party charter. He seemed like a switched-on kind of dude, but I mean, it's like somebody took a piece of metal, dug in his ear, and pulled out parts of his brains. I don't know what's going on with Herman Mashaba. I'm really shocked by his behavior, but it's consistently bad. They're traitors because they support Donald Trump. Give me a break. He didn't call the EFF traitors when they supported Putin. Give me a break. In my opinion, place me where I'm needed according to my skills. That doesn't always work. You're a refugee. You get where they put you where they put you. You can move around. You don't have to stay where you're at. I work for Uber. Can I be an Uber driver in the U.S. With South Africa ID and USA? Nope. You have to have a driver's license here. Samsung. You have to have a driver's license here. You can't drive around here on a South African license when you live here. As a tourist, you can. You can't drive here on a South African license if you live here. If you're a resident here, whether you're a refugee, an asylum seeker, an immigrant, a migrant, if you're a resident here, you have to have a driver's license in the state where you reside. Now, you get so many days to get one. But if you have an existing driver's license, typically you don't even have to take a test. I can't answer that case South African, whether they accept that or not. But you can do home inspections. Yeah, that's something that gets done. Police stopped him the other day with golf and told him he shouldn't drive the golf. It's not the road according to them. Huh? Mesquite is amazing. Yeah, it is. Man, good taste. Good taste. Okay. What be the top items you would suggest to get ready for refugee status to go through passports? Jan, I've covered this. I don't know if it was one of the 14 questions I addressed, but I'll answer your question. We're talking about passports, birth certificates, financial paperwork, in case I don't know that you're going to need it, but you want to have it. Proof of residence, something like that. If you've been given a letter and they tell you, or an email that says you were denied because of your race or something like that, take a printout of that. If you've been denied a bursary and you show the scores like a 97 on the matric and you still couldn't get in, take that evidence you were turned down for university. If you were you were denied a contract and they told you that you do not BE qualified, take that. Take documentation like that. That's how you can prove that you've been racially discriminated against. That's easy. Piece of cake. So take this stuff with you. Got to run quick. Thanks, Hot Full Fab. Analysis of aid according to South Korean ambassador I met 2002 is only 5% reach people to 10 for. Well, Marquis, I'm sure that's very fine. The South Korean ambassador told you that, but he's making stuff up coming out of his ass. So I can tell you that we have the CFC, the Combined Federal Campaign. So charitable organizations are prohibited by law from soliciting federal employees for money. You cannot come ask for money from federal employees. It's illegal, including the military. So we have something called the Combined Federal Campaign. So every year, the government, in my case, the military, has a little booklet with thousands of charities that are approved, that are part of this program, and they have the information on it, tells you what they are, who they are, what they're about, where the money goes, who they support, whether it's at home or abroad, and you can make a donation. It comes directly out of your pay. It's up to you. You can do $1, you can do $5, you can do whatever you want. And you can pick as many as you want. I don't think there's a limit on charities. There might be a limit, but anyway, I used to give money to the American Cancer Society and the Sickle Cell Anemia Society and a couple of others every year. It's just for 1 year. Then they come back and they're not approaching you. So someone in the military does. But in those booklets that show you, it tells you exactly where the money goes. So they tell you up front. Some organizations, 70% of the money went to those in need. Others, 95% went because they had very low overhead. But you have to understand, some of these organizations have to have high overhead. If you're providing certain services, it takes capital to do certain things. So if you're transporting people, you're going to have higher overhead than someone that just is, dispersing food, because you're going to have vehicles. You're going to have to pay for those vehicles. It costs money, so that's going to come out of the money comes in. But you're not going to find a charitable organization as part of CFC that has 50% goes to the staff and 45% goes to the mission, because they just wouldn't take that. So I'm here to tell you that for U.S. aid and for German aid and even for the British aid, that most of the money gets to where it's supposed to go. Yep, that's been my experience. And I've only been stationed in Tunisia, Liberia, Botswana, Malawi, Nigeria, Mauritania, Uganda, Ethiopia. So it's not like I don't know. What is grits? Grits, it's bland like pop, but it's a wet consistency, and it's got little like salmonella. That's what it's kind of like, but it doesn't taste like salmonella. I don't care for grits. It's bland. You have to pour syrup on it so you can stomach it. All right, Lion and Sand, take care. What's in the bottle? It's Starbucks Frappuccino. It's sugar and caffeine, coffee flavor. I have an air fryer. I, for one, was against apartheid, and I had no say in changing the law, but yeah, I get lumped in. Exactly. Okay. K-53 diver's license. I have no idea what a K-53 diver's license is, but I'm sure that your diving license is probably similar akin to ours, and it gets translated. Most of us studying political science in 94 changed course after the elections. We knew then that we wouldn't find work as whites in that field. I changed the criminology for obvious reasons. Good move, Tanya de Jong. Chris Shelton, History Repeating Itself. General DeVette wrote in his book, 3-Year War, that the reason Bloemfontein was taken by the Brits, not so much as a shot fire, was because Boers didn't stick together. General DeVette was wrong. The reason the Boers lost the war is because the British had unlimited resources. And when they torched your farms and destroyed your food sources, your ammunition stores, it's just a matter of time. And they put your women and children, your elderly into concentration camps, and those who worked on your farms in concentration camps, and killed Basuto and Swana by the 100,000s, and 16,000 women and children in concentration camps. It's just a matter of time. You just can't stand up to that. It wasn't because the board didn't stick together. That's nonsense. It's nonsense. Now, if you want to argue that the attempted rebellion in the First World War is because the board stick together, that's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. You know, when they shot General Delarey because they thought he was a wanted criminal, they were mistaken identity, so they claim. The movement out in the West, up near Uppington, that entire thing fell apart because of egos, arrogance, and because it was poorly organized and they didn't stick together. So that one, you can make the argument. Interesting episode on Morning Shot YouTube. Okay. I haven't seen that. How do you prove racial discrimination of race-based crime if there's no proof on paper? Abby, have you been denied a bursary? Have you been able to find work? There's 142 laws. Find a law where you've been discriminated against and just make the point. You don't have to have paper to prove your discrimination. Again, refugee status is for people who demonstrate that they were persecuted or fear persecution. You don't have to prove it. You just have to say that you fear it and prove it. That's how the law works. When a person have a job, have to work in a job that the government places you in. No, the government doesn't place you in a job. The government helps you with job placement, but you pick the job. There's tons of jobs here. Good morning. I saw some snippets yesterday of the 50501 drive in the USA, but I don't know what that is. I have no idea what the 50501 drive is. What is that? I've never heard of that before. Okay. Arctic is back. Maybe red once your qualifications are verified, you can work. Exactly. Neville says, I don't know how driver's license changes work in the U.S., but my kids in New Zealand, Australia took their southern license in and were issued with a relevant country license. Yeah, no, it depends. It depends on the state. Normally that's the case. There are exceptions. But like I said, I same country, but I had an Ohio license. And when I reverted to Pennsylvania residency, by fact of living here, no longer in the military, I went in and I got a license issued. I just had to pay for it. I think it was $25. Looks like Ronnie Lamola got cold shoulder. I know. When we're done with this, I'm going to make a video on that. My Indian friend asked if she would qualify since she was included in the BE laws. Claudio, once again, does anybody, are you guys new here? Are these new people? You were here, Claudio, before, and I covered this. I'm not sure how this gets missed by people. The executive order is all we have to go on, and then a subsequent message from the embassy, which may or may not apply, which says ethnic minorities, which is what I predicted is going to happen. It's not going to be this. But this order says for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of racial discrimination. Now, I get a bunch of people coming on here, coming on here and argue with me what an Afrikaner is. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy arguing with what an Afrikaner is, because it doesn't matter what you say. No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, but doesn't matter. It matters not what I say. It matters what the U.S. government decides an Afrikaner is. And as I said, that'll probably become ethnic minorities. If it becomes ethnic minorities, then your Indian friend would qualify. And I think that's going to be the case. Copy. Employment ads here exclude on race before you even apply, which is immoral and it's illegal. It violates the Constitution. The laws they pass are unconstitutional, so they need to be challenged. So yeah, I would tell her that, hang in there if that's what she wants to do. We have enough Indians in this damn country, though. We need more Indians. They're everywhere. A bunch around here. I was stuck in traffic, so I couldn't comment earlier, but hearing PK with an American accent is possibly, what is that? Possibly the funniest thing I heard today. Well, I'm sorry if I put you off. Hi, Chris. It's my son Devin's birthday today. He loves your show. Well, we're going to have to mention that. I'm glad you shared that. We do recognize birthdays if people tell us about it. I don't do anniversaries. We can mention it, but I don't do anything special for it. So your son Devin's birthday, I don't know if he's watching, but this is for him. Happy birthday to Devin. Can we get some love, some hearts, some claps, for Devin's birthday? Please do that. Okay, now we got such a big audience here. I'm probably going to have to do this much more frequently. Someone who loves Born Musique. Well, that makes me an Afrikaner then. Good morning, Colonel. Don't know if this was asked already, but it's all go ahead to apply. Is there a time frame which you'll be able to apply, say 3 months after jobs? Lindy Jansa van Rensburg, we have no idea. We have no idea what the program's going to be until they come up with it. Normally, a refugee program applies as long as a conflict is going on or something like that, but there's no war in South Africa, at least not a declared war. So we don't know. It's a unique situation. We'll have to wait and see. Solomon. So Arctic hated Bor music until he started drinking and dancing with the Bormaisi. Well, there you go, folks. Time for a little Kalfoot Silky there. Yep. But what if your very expensive life-saving chronic medication? It doesn't have an impact, fan. We don't reject people because you're unhealthy or you're missing limbs or things like that. It's refugee. It's not immigration. Your sense of humor is amazing. I love when you say PK makes me smile. Okay, Hotful. That's what happens to us. No Bormaisi cares what you look like as long as you can. Congrats on the 45,000. Did we hit it? We hit 45,000. 50. Now I'm itching for 50. Yep, 45,006. We hit it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm just honestly, I'm a little not concerned, but I have a feeling that we're going to lose a lot of subscribers when the program is announced and people find the information there. Okay, well, I got what I need. I'm done. I would hope that people could come back because you find the content compelling. Only news channel I trust, says Claudia. Okay, cool. Happy birthday. There you go. Look at that. You're cool. Square dancing and Born music. Yeah, no, I got that one song by Derek van der Westhuizen and Bobby Josveld. What is that? What's that song? It sounds like a cowboy song. I love it. There's some nice shorts going on in this one. So Dirk, and Bobby. Dirk and Bobby. There you go. Dirk and Bobby van der Westhuizen. Come on, where's it at? Yeah. Dis wat ons wil hê. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Let me get that in here. I can't play a lot of it because I got a copyright claim, but somebody will recognize the song right away after we get through this ad. Let's pause it there because copyright claims after 7 seconds. Does refugee program assist with schooling? Billy, I know the answer on that. What happens is when you get to a state and a locality, you're probably going to get assistance. The state has programs that aid the federal government, so I'm not really sure. I want to tell you something that's misleading, but yeah, I would expect you would get help putting your kids in school. But you have to put your kids in school. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You have to put your kids in school. There's no. You can do homeschooling, but you got to have kids in school. You can't not have kids in school. It doesn't work like that here. So yeah, I'm sure they will. I wouldn't lose sleep over that. I wouldn't worry about it. Chris, yes, and Rick de Boer. Thank you for that. G-Man's coming to visit me. Okay.
Is iets hier binne, ek voel dit in my bloed. Is dit omdat ek jonk is? Jy ken my te goed.
That's Bobby. Paying Wi-Fi access will stick with you. Here's Wi-Fi. There's internet access everywhere. So, visited my black African friend just a day or two after the executive order, and he looked angry at his government and very depressed that I could not tell him I'm going to leave him behind. Well, you don't know you're going yet, so don't put the cart before the horse because it doesn't work that way. Yeah, Arctic is going to give you a PK there, Pablo Charlie, because you're trolling talking about this. So what I suggest, Pablo, is you stop talking about the refugee program because it has no bearing on you. You've been warned by Arctic. All right. Now, look, I went to the trouble to buy this hat and this shirt today, which cost me money, so that I could wear it in the program to show a little respect to you, Pablo. So I'm going to ask you to show a little respect and stop pissing all over people's wants and needs or desires to stay or go. Just stop talking about it. You can talk about other things, but stop talking about the refugee program. Arctic, you got carte blanche to put the hammer down. First time, 5 minutes. Still ringing because defendant black kid blocked. Okay, you told us that before, or someone else had the same story. Friend escaped communism in Poland in the 80s to South Africa, never changed passports. Does not speak Polish and have family there. Or have family there, has South African ID. If he has South African ID and he's an Afrikaner, then he's being racially... Okay, guys, I mean, Lexi, you're asking all kinds of crazy questions here. You haven't given me a case for him going. You haven't told me he's an Afrikaner who's suffering racial oppression, so no would be the answer. Although I suspect it's probably he can go, but no. If you came to me with that story, here's my friend. He fled Poland in the 1980s, lives in South Africa, has a Polish passport, doesn't speak Polish. All right, well, apparently he's not an Afrikaner suffering racial discrimination, so sorry, I can't help you. You got to focus on what the damn order says, guys, and then when the instructions come out, we can go further. But right now, that's all we have. He's a famous artist and heavily ANC sponsored, so he's torn between two worlds. Yeah, he is. Joey for the info stayed for the fellow future Americans. Okay. Elena K. Well, I'll tell you what, if all these South Africans come to America, my ratio of South African to America-based viewers is going to soar. It's nothing about drinking and biking. No, I don't ride motorcycles. And I know a lot about drinking, Arctic. I just don't do it. Because people assault me and abuse me for my schussbier. Can they put us up in the Diddy mansions? Yeah, I hear they're available. There's one problem. There's a lot of baby oil in them. Andre says, definitely will continue to follow you, Chris, once the news is out. You've been faithful to South African Afrikaans. We're loyal people. Well, I appreciate that. Okay. Disabled pensioners receive... I just answered that question 20 minutes ago. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Will the disabled pensioners receive aid when they get accepted? Asking for a friend. Yeah, to my knowledge, they would, but I have no idea. I can't tell you what that is. I'm not a refugee, and I just know the outlines of the program, and I know how it is from the other end, not on the receiving end. But I've run into people who are refugees, and they seem to be fine. They get all our tax money, live better than many of us do. Not getting notifications. Patrick, that doesn't surprise me because my viewership has plummeted in the last 2 days. YouTube is not putting them out, so maybe they're putting the shadow banning back in effect. I mean, we were getting 1,200, 1,500 subscribers per day. One day I got 2,000 for an extended period here, and then the last 2 days it dropped to just 600 yesterday, and the day before and yesterday I think it's just 300. So yeah, it took me a couple of days to get past 45,000, so it's making that 50,000 harder. Excuse me, I got to sneeze. So yeah, it's something you got to know, folks. You gotta join the groups, join the WhatsApp or Telegram groups that are applicable. Not the ones for refugee stuff, but join the ones for my channels. And I have different multiple groups. Just join one of them. All of them get posted. Every video, every live stream gets posted in there, so you know when it takes place. Otherwise, you may not know because YouTube won't inform you, and then my viewership goes way down, and then I get depressed and I decide to quit. Like me fly on the wall when they explain the meaning of the word nil. Yeah, exactly. Government raising taxes by 1% to cover the 100 billion. Yep. No. That's not correct, Etienne. Unless they've changed the policy. Parks Towel proposed a 3% corporate tax, not individuals. This is a different fund. 25 billion per year is not for the 100 billion. The 100 billion is over 5 years, and the plan is 20 billion per year. So that's, I believe, two separate things we were talking about, unless they've conflated it. Be here on the channel, says Marissa. Okay, it's the first African person who spoke that the land does not belong to us and we belong to the land. Die Land behört an jou. Die Land behört an jou. YouTube crashed. It happens, Armageddon. There's a real problem with YouTube lately. I think your channel will grow if Sapphirs go to the U.S. as refugees. You're a great source of accurate information about the U.S. and South Africa. Yep, well, that's true. Hope you're right about that. Yes, the cart's before the horse because emotions, but you have to control your emotions. Is anybody here below the age of 18? If you're below the age of 18, I'll let you be emotional. But if you're 19 and older, you need to be an adult and put your big boy, big girl pants on and relax, okay? Davi Dry, I would not think twice to go. I just can't wait to know how they want to go about. I'm single, no kids, 40, and I still can build a new life. That's true. The ANC has dealt all the cards. Well, the ANC was handed a deck full of, aces and eights. Well, that's a dead man's hand. Aces. They're handed a deck full of aces, and they pissed it down the drain. Now they're playing with, 2 sixes, a 5, and a 9. Yep. All right, Ark, take care. USA has job shortages. No, we don't. Who told you that lie? Who told you that lie? I went yesterday and showed you hundreds of jobs available within 10 miles of my house. Hundreds of jobs. Where are you getting that nonsense from? Appreciate your live chat. Sad part of South refugees moving to USA would most probably deal with dealing safe and especially being victims. Yeah. Pictures you see represented on maps are not accurate. USA is absolutely massive. South Africa is tiny in comparison. That's true. Arctic is not 17. You're a liar. Dis my land here, check. Okay. Don't make me block you again. If I ask what is the average payment for private medical insurance, there is no such thing, Loretta, as an average payment. I mean, there's you can take all of them, but I mean, average payment. I mean, what I pay for medical care is a joke compared to what most people pay because military service. I qualify for a program that is far cheaper than most, but I was supposed to get it for free. I'm a veteran. I'm a disabled veteran. I'm supposed to get free medical care, and I have to pay for it, which is BS, but I do. But some people take $10,000, $12,000 a year for medical care, and they get large deductibles. Like you have a $500 deductible, so everything under $500 you have to pay. That's called a copay. My copay is $38 or something like that. So for most things, yep. Now the dogs have no idea what foot-sec is. Waiting patiently for Trump. SA became independent from Britain in 1961. In 33 years, up to 94, the country was developed an industrial powerhouse. We had our own self-sustaining industry. In 31 years, the ANC. Yeah, Gideon, you're right. 100%. Can't argue with that. No, they won't necessarily put you somewhere where there's work for you. They're going to put you somewhere where they have a slot. You got 100 people. We got 100 places where you're going to get sponsors and hosts and stuff like that. They're going to put you someplace like that. So, but I mean, whatever job you have, it's everywhere. We have pharmacists, nurses, doctors, miners, coal miners. Natural gas experts, fracking experts. Welders, plumbers, electricians, whatever the hell you are, air traffic controllers, pilots. Everyone's everywhere. This is a huge country, man. Good Lord, we got it all. Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you all for congratulating me for 45,000 subscribers, and thank you for all who made it. All who made it possible. Look, Romania has taken a turn for the better. This is pretty exciting stuff. Where are we at there? I'm trying to find it. Is this it? Yeah. Hang on. Come on, where's it at? Finance Minister Enoch Gondwana wants 300 billion from African tax. That's from your income tax. The 100 billion is from the corporate tax. That's 300 billion. Kali Creel struck back at Cyril Ramaphosa. That's funny. Where the hell did that thing go? Here it is. Okay. Kaylin Georgescu announces that George Soros will be banned, or the Soros will be banned from Romania. Loving it. I'm loving it. There it is. Kaylin Georgescu announces that on his first day as president, he will ban the entire Soros network in Romania. We have ways to do this. We know who they are. It's very clear. Wow, that's pretty cool. Peter Rousseau, good morning to you. Yep. Cameron says it looks like South Africa is exploring the possibility of giving Iran a contract for a nuclear power plant as the country plans. Where are you getting that information from? Because that's one of the reasons why Donald Trump issued this executive order, because they're working with Iran on nuclear programs. And I've been telling everybody that. Nobody's listening. Nobody. Tell me the analysts are talking about Iran. They're all going, if they're getting off the Afrikaner issue, which is just one aspect of it, they're focusing on Israel and the ICJ. And I see all these experts, it's definitely because of the ICJ. That's part of it. This was afoot in February of last year when Trump was a private citizen. It has nothing to do with Trump. Raining cats and dogs in Benoni. Somebody mentioned me in Benoni today. You guys remember that? Remember that? That was so funny. What was that thing? Cape Town. Oh gosh, Cape Town. Let's see. What was that thing called? Anybody remember what that was? Who those guys were? COVID. Come on, what was that? Gosh, I remember that. Oh, what was that thing called? Anybody remember that? Zelda Pistorius, will a teacher's degree be accepted in America? No, probably not. Probably not. You will probably have to take classes at university in order to be certified. It's highly unlikely that your teacher's certification for anywhere in the world will work here for a public school or a private school. Maybe a private school might accept it, but public schools are going to force you to. So when I was an undergraduate at university, I'm a history student. I wanted to be a history teacher. And in order to be a history teacher, I had to spend an additional year in college, a fifth year in college, to take the prerequisite courses in sociology, in psychology, in counseling, and specific American history courses. Even though I wasn't going to teach American history, I had to have them. So I had to spend a whole other year. And I said, nope, I'm going back in the Army. I don't have time for this nonsense. So yeah, but we're in for shortage of teachers. And most of our teachers are freaking, weirdo, transgender, turning children into homosexual crowd. So we like normal teachers. So I'm sure you can sort it out. Anybody thinks they're coming to South Africa and they can just start doing what they were doing where they're in South Africa and do it here. You can't. You can't. If you're a professional, you have to be certified. We don't just let people do stuff. unless you're hired illegally, like the illegal aliens are, and then they take unqualified electricians and masons and plumbers and build houses that burn down because they're poorly constructed. But yeah, no. If you have any skills, you're going to have to make sure that your skills get transferred. It takes 3 to 6 months, depending on what's going on. What is this Sherzon? What is this Sherzon? What is that? What is Sherzon saying? Laughing about something. As a refugee, will a person have to work? Boy, why does this all become the refugee night again? Where the government specifies, or can a qualified artisan choose where they would prefer to work? Okay, you're asking two different questions, Rex. Have to work a location where the government specifies. You mean like the Soviet Union? The government's going to tell you have to work in this factory? Is that what you're getting at? I don't understand your question. The government doesn't put you to work. You find your own work. They do provide job location assistance. Every state has that. But you do what you want. I'm sorry. I'm trying to follow the question, and it's not resonating with me. Sorry, I missed your question earlier. I just found it as I went back up. Keith Alderson's in from the UK, and it just jumped again. There it goes. Okay. Good morning, Pierre. Rupert van Sittert. South Africa had the second largest economy, growth rate in the world. Yeah, look at you now. Yep. Gideon says, Wonder hoeveel Zuid-Afrikaners beseft dat die voorrang wat ons geniet, kom die van harde werk van ons veroors. Ignore attention seeking. Yep. Hugo Breitenbach, learn to hoist a jack and learn to lay a track. Exactly. Gareth Joint, thank God the adults are in the charge again, USA. Yeah, no kidding. This can only be good for South Africa. It's only good for the world, man. It's good for the world. And there was Zenda. Yeah, so Zenda, you probably won't have trouble getting certified, but you're probably going to be forced to take some courses. Yep. I mean, like right now, I have multiple postgraduate degrees. I've taught at university, undergraduate. I've taught at postgraduate. But if I want to go work at a local high school, I'm probably not going to be qualified because they have standards. Every state's different. Maybe I am in Pennsylvania. I know in Ohio I wouldn't be, even though I taught at university, even though I was a lecturer, a professor, assistant professor. And so look, education is a wonky thing, but I wouldn't worry about it, Zenda. If you're a teacher and you're good at what you're doing, you'll be able to find work. If you're a fitter and turner, you're required to do like a program, get the same standard. Not if you're illegal. Once you're already status, would you be able to visit other countries? You should be able to. Okay, there's a question. I don't know if it was asked for. What's the age that you have to go pension? Marissa, it's not an age. There are multiple ages. People used to retire. You can retire at 62 legally, but you get a pittance of Social Security from that. But Social Security is supposed to be supplemental. It's not supposed to be your retirement, but a lot of people live off it, and they live poorly because it doesn't pay much. It just takes a lot of our tax money. It gives it away to people. 65 was traditionally retirement age, but I have to work till I'm 69 before I can take a retirement check. But I'm already retired from the military because I did 36 and a half years, but I just work because I want to. We don't have a mandatory retirement age, thank God, because people can still contribute all the way in as long as they want. So, yeah, anyway, yeah. Why would people ask that question? Why are you asking that question? Right? But people ask all kinds of questions, I'm puzzled by the questions. Escalator mechanic, I've seen online in the elevator companies do this. There's a heck of a lot of work. There is a lot of work. We got elevators everywhere. Budget speech is going to be lies. Yep, just like the Sona was. Yeah, no. You're elderly. South Africa is a tough place if you're elderly because you're a target. Because you're easy. You can't run away. You can't defend yourself. People must realize that if you go as a refugee, expect the worst and be treated like one. It's not a loophole for immigration. Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people seem to think this is immigration. You're not immigrating to America, and you're not entitled to this. It's a gift from the American government because you're being persecuted. Those who come, and so you have to keep that in mind. R1, what's up, man? Edward Smith, how's it going? Apparently on my way to Boksburg, says Ben. Why? What's going on there? A large group of self-proclaimed avocados gather outside U.S. Embassy in... Oh, Tom Eaton's an ass. Tom Eaton is a privileged little shithead who lives in a bubble and thinks that everyone lives the same way he does. Just like Dickie Don there with the frickin' the Dan Corder, the condom wearing guy. Peter Liebenberg, I really do hope that this whole thing will work out. There's an explosion of race wars going on. Yeah, I know. I warned about that first night, did not, in the first 10 minutes. Yep. 20 degrees to be. I think what people are afraid of is that their national security won't be accepted in the state because it's from South Africa. It makes no sense to prevent us from helping us grow the economy. Well, Miki, no, your logic makes no sense. You're not here to grow our economy. You're here temporarily because we gave you refuge as a refugee, because you're being persecuted. People, stop. You're not understanding. This is not immigration. It's refugee. You're coming here because you're being persecuted. What your qualifications are don't make one bull squirt difference in what's going on, whether you get here or not. If your argument is that, well, it won't help our economy because we don't access it, but we're not going to accept substandard certifications. We have our own certification standards. And Europe has their own certification standards. You have your own. I can't go to South Africa and just do things that I do here. I have to get certified in South Africa. So I don't understand why that's hard for people. Arctic is explaining the process. It's not hard. Good Lord, you're getting a free ride. You're getting a gift, the golden ticket of all time if you come here. It's not too much to ask for people to be patient, to wait a few months for your certificates and degrees to be translated into something so you can get work. It's not a big deal. Chill. Chill. Okay, the way that the government has blown all the money, I'll probably have to work from my grave. Yeah, Patrick wants to know how much tax they're going to take. What does the ANC have to gain from working with Iran? Money, Paul. Where did they get the $102 million to pay the events coordinator for their bill from the 2019 election? In 2024, 5 years later, they finally paid their debt after the sheriff came and inventoried all the property in Latuli House: fax machines, refrigerators, couches, desks, computers, and was going to take all of it away to pay the $102 million they owed, plus the interest, which is another $50 million. They owed $151 million or something like that. Where did that money come from? The ANC's never disclosed the donations. Where did the $20 million come for to pay for the ANC's birthday celebration the first week of January of last year? They didn't have any money. Where did the money come for the election? From Iran. Where else? That's what they have to gain. They're their paymasters. Did refugees hunt? I don't know why not. We've had this conversation. Boy, this is a repeat. We keep getting the same questions every night. How are financial advisors doing in the USA? I've done some research on various streams of financial advice and certifications, but what I don't see is what people are saying about the industry. I don't use a financial advisor. I don't need somebody to take credit for my gains and for me to blame if I lose money. If I make money, that's my good fortune or brilliance or a combination of the two. If I lose money, it was my foolishness or my unwillingness to part with it. I don't really use financial advisors. I don't care for them. Depends where you're at. People that aren't financially wise think they're wonderful. People that know what the hell they're doing have no use for them for the most part. So, Paul Liebenberg, what's this? Doesn't care what the ANC does, the money he gets from. Yep. So I saw yesterday there was a South African man with his family in the Philippines. He wants to also take Trump's offer. I tried to explain to him that he has to be here to apply. Others say he can. Well, they're full of crap. They're full of crap. Oh, my goodness. A refugee under the Immigration and Nationality Act of the United States. Refugee is a person who is located outside the United States. Okay? So he would qualify for that. Okay? Is a special humanitarian concern to the United States. Is he a special humanitarian concern to the United States? We don't know if he qualifies. Just South African. That doesn't mean you qualify. Demonstrates that they were persecuted or fear persecution due to the race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular group. Is he being persecuted in the Philippines for those reasons? I doubt it. And this is why he's unqualified for certain. Not firmly resettled in another country. I had a lady from Ireland contact me and she said she's going to sell all her things, all her assets. I said, don't do that. Why are you doing that? Because I'm coming to America. Who told you to come to America? Well, because I'm taking Trump's offer. Stop. Full stop. Put the brakes on. You're not coming to America. You're in Ireland. And this person actually has refugee status in Ireland. You can't shop. Okay, I'm not annoyed at anybody here, but I'm getting a little bit annoyed about this complete not understanding what's going on here. This is not immigration. You are being evacuated from a place where you're being persecuted because you're under pressure. All this other stuff is bullshit. You need to let go of it. What about this? What about that? What about this? You know, that's not how it works for people fleeing from Darfur. They don't get, can I bring my pets? Can I bring my guns? Can I do this? And look, I'm not being excited. I'm not trying to turn you off. I'm just saying, guys, understand what you're getting into here, okay? They take care of refugees for a period of time. And if you can't make it after that, that's you wouldn't have made it anywhere. Trust me. If you can't make it in America, you can't make it. Especially now that the racism is being thrown out in government and all these other places. You know, the population of D.C. is, 63% black or 61%, I think 60% black. It used to be 78% black. But if you go to a D.C. administrative office for the District of Columbia, it's like 99% black people. Gee, I wonder why that is. Patronage. Yep. The guy from Philippines cannot come here. Cannot come here. Full stop. Cannot come here. Guarantee it. UPS driver, yeah, well, it depends the area and what's going on. Inherited Boxburg from my ex. Okay. How are people coming here? How are you finding my videos? Is someone telling you come here and ask me a bunch of questions? Because, I mean, honestly, every night, it's the same questions over and over and over again from people. So, you know, I mean, people please have the courtesy to actually watch the trouble I go to make videos. And if you don't know about the video, then I'll accept that. But I've answered so many of these questions so many times, and it's in this video, which should have had 250,000 views. I mean, I ought to be getting credit for all the views for all the time I spend here answering the same questions in a video that I produced. So, anyway. Martin, disabled. Will I be helped? How so? What do you mean helped? You're going to have to give me more information there. What do you mean helped? Are you asking as a disabled person, can you come as a refugee? Of course you can. You're welcome, Marissa. What's your honest opinion of Dan Quarter? I agree with your opinion, Necro. The guy is completely uninformed, and he's a bought and paid for leftist troll. Yep. At least that's what his videos show. I mean, maybe he's a good guy. I don't know. I don't know him personally. Just know what he publishes. Vance speech to the job. Yeah, I did. Maybe you must skip all the few questions because make it. No, I'm not irritated, Jacques. I'm not irritated. I'm not. It's. I mean, when I answer the question 10 minutes ago, and 10 minutes later I get asked the exact same question. It's not like it's a new hour. That's in this hour. So same question. Radio ham. What's this? Ham radio. Yeah, you have to take the exam in America. Maybe they'll accept your qualification. I don't know. Ham radio operators, I know because it's something I want to do. You have to be qualified for it in order to use certain radios. I don't know the answer because the FCC regulates that. I suspect that they may accept your radio license from elsewhere, but you'd have to ask when you get here, or go to the FCC website and ask. Just go to the FCC and says, does the United States accept ham radio license from other countries? There's a lot of reciprocity in a lot of these things, folks. Funny story. My father was in Texas once and ordered a rack of ribs. The server was confused and asked, "Are you sure? Not pork ribs." I don't understand that. Okay. What else? Currently big problems at home affairs, my wife's passport applications. Yep. Again, another question asked and answered, and it's answered in those 14 questions. Normally, people who are coming as refugees are fleeing a war zone almost all the time, not all the time. A lot of these people have nothing but the shirts on their back. They have no documentation. Their home was burned. A lot of them never had passports. The freaking village people live in the middle of Darfur. Don't even, So in those cases, travel documents can be issued. So I don't know what will happen in South Africa's case. Maybe they'll demand you have a passport. But that'd be pretty foolish knowing the ANC can prevent you from getting one. Nicklin says, love from Bloemfontein. Hey, I've been to Bloemfontein several times. Interviewed Nas Bot in Bloemfontein at the Grey Lodge across from Grey College. And then I got a tour of Grey College. Video sent to people that are already starting land crabs is super scary, not going to lie. If you guys haven't watched, you guys should watch and share. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Francois Mulman, good morning. A lot of people need to shield the refugees. I agree, Cameron. I agree. I mean, the point of asking these questions when you don't even if you qualify the program, just relax. But I mean, I blame my government. I mean, my government has put nothing out to answer questions. Nothing. And it's been 10 days. I mean, you don't get people excited about this stuff or built up or, get all the vitriol against people who are talking about going and then not provide anything. So I'm very angry at my government for that. Okay, put all my money in property. Okay, well, this is where they make financial advisor mainly help with investments and retirement plans. Yep. Claudia Mila says, Colonel said patient bless him. Well, I'm trying. Look, I understand where people are coming from. People are frustrated. People are curious. People are anxious. I'm trying to calm you down because it does you no good to get excited or to get nervous or to get in stressful situations because we don't even know who's going to be affected by this. You got people running around with fake news telling people, oh, only so many thousand people are going to come because that's what the program allows. Well, that's BS. You don't know that. The United States normally takes up to 150,000 refugees in a year. That's normal. That's the program set up for. So we have enough resources normally that are allocated to spend money to get people here, to get them settled and give stipends at a rate of 150,000 per year. Max. But we took 160,000 Afghan refugees in just a couple of days. And we flew them here in C-17s. None of them were vetted. So, there are rules, there are guidelines, and there's laws. But all that stuff doesn't matter until this program is announced. Crown National's legendary biltong spice. I don't know that. Thank you for sharing that, Mickey. Okay. Marty said exactly. You have the patience of saying thank you. It's very kind of you to say. I almost drank that with a lid on it. One of those physical workers. I like to get my hands dirty, but thanks. That is something to look at when I was younger. Okay, Marquis. I am disabled. If I get accepted, I will climb out of a wheelchair and work. Again, guys, look, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but this I will say again. It doesn't matter whether you're physically capable, whether you have skills, whether you're a doctor, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. Doesn't matter. You're not being allowed to come in the country because of your skills. You're not being allowed to come to the country because you're white or because you're brown or because you're black or because you're Christian, Muslim, Jew. That's not why you're being allowed to come to the country. You're being allowed to come to the country if you come in this program because you're being persecuted or fear persecution. Full stop. No other reason. So all the other shit doesn't apply. None of that applies. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Now, you might be asked those questions. And maybe it'll have an impact to where they can send you, if that's part of the consideration. But you have to understand that this is a huge undertaking. And that's why they had caps on the number of people. But Trump has told... But by the way, as far as the number of people can come in, people need to relax because the refugee resettlement program, as I've said a million times now, is frozen. It's canceled. It's not active. On January 20th, President Trump froze it. Let me see if I have that link. However, on February 7th, he issued an executive order telling the State Department to prioritize South Africans to come here. But before that, it was frozen. Okay, I'm trying to see if I have it here. No, I don't have it here. I thought I had it there. So there is no refugee resettlement program at the moment. There's none. And there won't be one until the State Department issues guidance on the directions they've been given 10 days ago, now 11 days ago. So that's the bottom line. So yeah, don't worry about whether you're sick or disabled or you're a teacher or you're a prostitute or you're a drug dealer. Well, maybe you should worry about that because that's criminal activity. We don't take criminals. Ireland is beautiful there. Yeah, but it's flooded with people from the developing world who are turning it into a crime-ridden nest and haven. It's not fun to be in Ireland right now. I'm sorry, Rwanda. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I did this for Pablo Charlie, who's gone very quiet since he got chastised. Oh, there's Pablo Charlie. As soon as I said that, there he is. It's because people did not do their own research. Exactly. Only meant to say that I don't think the U.S. will prevent us from working in due time. Will be forever dependent on grants. Miki, we have tens of millions of people who are sponging off the system. That's part of the problem. A few more thousands or 10,000s isn't going to break the bank. Well, G-Man, who's going to pay for my website and the data? See, people forget about that. You can set up a website, but all the data that comes through it, you have to pay for that data. Who's going to pay for that? Forex says, thank you for your time updates. We do appreciate it. Thank you. You're very welcome. Well, South African with a phone, no, Trump shouldn't come out and explain this because Trump has given direction. The State Department and the Department of Homeland Security need to do it. He directed them to do it 11 days ago. They need to get it done. Okay. I think they say people are worried about how they'll be able to work or survive. I understand, Jacques. I understand fully, but I don't have an answer on that. Do you honestly think that we're going to take people from a country? I mean, look, we have people who have blown off limbs from fleeing war zones. We're going to bring them here and just leave them to starve to death? Come on. I mean, that doesn't even pass the common sense test. I mean, if that was the case, it's all you'd see in the news. Oh, the Americans are so horrible. They made all these Sudanese come to America from Darfur, and then they just left them to starve to death. Oh, my goodness, man. No, it doesn't pass the common sense test. I don't have the answer. So I'm answering as best I can, but you are calming. That's why I watch your channel. I'm calming? Really? People earlier accusing me of being too animated and too loud. No, I'm not covering the budget speech, Garrett. I'm covering tomorrow. I've got Neil Diamond on. So I think that at this point the U.S. government should give Chris a salary. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, no doubt. I mean, I certainly should get something here for all my troubles from the government because they're not doing it. Okay. Well, thank you for saying that, Abby. I appreciate that. Unhostile and ill treatment, especially on the basis of ethnicity, region. Okay. Allow me to allocate me to any state, and I will make at least I can make my home and not be harassed and detained. Do not know who signed on those rugby balls. Oh, you want to know who signed them? Yeah, no, I've covered that, but yeah, sure. This ball has a history. I bought this ball when I went back to South Africa in 2022 after the COVID scam. And I was going to France in 2023 for the World Cup, as I do for all the World Cups. So a couple of my viewers, I think Hendo's the one that started, said, buy a rugby ball and get the people you're going to interview to sign it. So there were 3 famous Springboks that I was going to interview or see and meet while I was in South Africa. So the idea is for them to sign it. I got 2 of them to sign it. And then in my rush to get out of the hotel where I had lunch with Joel Stransky, I left it in the hotel in Santon City. The good news for me is the people who work there are honest. Unfortunately, I told my audience the wrong hotel because I'm accustomed to Southern Sun, it's the same chain, but there's the Sun and the Southern Sun. Anyway, so somebody figured it out. Erica and my viewers put a team together. They went back to the hotel in Joburg. They got it. We had a meet and greet in Pretoria a few days later. I thought I'd never see this ball again. This ball was brought out of a bag with 60 people came to my meet and greet in Pretoria. It was unbelievable. It was incredible. I was in tears. This ball was supposed to have one more signature, and I don't have it. I'm going to try to get it next time. So what I did is I bought a marker for gold. And so I have here Nas Botha, and you can see Nas Botha there. And here I have Joel Stransky, okay? This was supposed to be Victor Matfield down here. And on this side, I had him sign it black too. Joel thought this was pretty clever to get me to sign it. Christo, thank you for your membership. Nas Botha, Joel Stransky. So that's what this is. So I have to take it back to South Africa one time, although I've said it's never leaving here because I don't want to lose it. But, yep. I interviewed Nas Botha in Bloemfontein, Joel Stransky in Joburg, and Victor Matfield I had lunch or coffee with in Linwood Bridge in Pretoria. So there's your answer on that one. Yes, Briscoe, we got to get rid of millions of illegal immigrants. The Congress doesn't have the authority over the president to deny his orders. Only the Supreme Court or court system can stop the president. But you can't stop this. The president has full discretion when it comes to the law is written, so the president has full discretion on who can be allowed in. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So I mean, a lot of people don't know. I mean, so I've interviewed Nas Botha, Joel Stransky, Floxiliers, Jean de Villiers, Skulk Brits. Well, there's so many Springboks I've interviewed. It's really cool. But you can only get the ones that are finished because the other ones don't want to talk when they're still doing it. Do you think it will be a sufficient evidence to print a copy of Employment Equity Act? I don't think printing out an 85-page document, saying this is why I'm discriminating against is going to work. Why don't we just wait and see what the rules are, okay? What's this? Last page in White House executive order page, refugees suspended order. That's correct. That was on January 20th. I said that. Are you guys listening? I said that. Let me see if I've got this. I've had it open earlier. Okay, that's the most recent. So let me go all the way back to the end. Yep. Anyway, it's hard for me to find. I'm not going to look for it now. I found it before. Let me see if the embassy's come out with something now. It's already the next morning there. No, nothing new. Okay, I was just double checking. Yep, so I think a lot of people to work that side is a sign of gratitude. The last thing most of them want to feel like is we're leeching off the economy. I'm an attorney ready to transfer. Well, great, but you're not going to be able to practice here, everyone. I'll tell you that right now. You can't practice. Unless you find a state they'll accept you. I mean, you have to pass the bar in every state. You can be a lawyer in Pennsylvania, but you can't practice in Maryland. 30 minutes away. Can't practice there unless you take the bar in Maryland. So, but I'm sure that you'll be able to pass the bar. It shouldn't be that hard. I've never had Baki's Boto yet. Nope. Carol King. Wow. Farmers who draw 250,000 5,000 cubic water require 20% black shareholder for the water use license to be granted. Yeah, I made a script and notes for a video on that topic. Yeah, why isn't my post reflecting here? I don't know, Ceylon Perumal. What? There's your post. I can see it right there. What post is not reflecting? Did you say something that YouTube didn't like? Okay, G-Man. Stream was behind. I was pointing out to Chris where it was in his previous comments. Economic persecuted, slowly being impoverished. Thank you, Rupert, for the super chat. Take care, Neville. What morons are taking down your comments, Captain? Nobody. Nobody's taking down your comments. What are you talking about? I can see who comments have been taken down, and you're not the person. 2 people had their comments taken down. It's not you. So, who's the moron? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I didn't follow Zimbabwe today. A little busy with other things. Major League is getting pretty big in years. I wish it were big. It's not big enough. So quite new in case you hadn't already told you. How much time do you live in the USA versus other countries? Do you see the travel price? Oh, okay. So, Charles, I spent 36 and a half years in the Army. So from the age of 18 until 55, I was in the Army. All but 2 years that on active duty. I went back and finished university for those 2 years. So I lived in Germany 3 times, in Italy once, and in Africa I was stationed in Tunisia, Liberia, Botswana, Malawi, Niger, Mauritania, Uganda, and Ethiopia. I was deployed on multiple combat tours to the Middle East and Africa, and I have visited 78 countries around the world. I've worked in 38 African countries, and I don't know the number in Europe, quite a few. I live in Pennsylvania because my last assignment was at the Army War College, where I was director of African Studies, and I planned to move to New Zealand or to Bavaria, but then the COVID scam started, and I couldn't move. So I wound up staying here, and here I am 5 years later, still here, which was not my intent. No complaints, but not my intent. So property, that's a very personal question, whether I own property or not, but I don't own any property in South Africa, that's for sure. I wouldn't want to expropriate it. Okay. I hear many South Africans saying they can't wait to work in America. They don't fully understand the difference in labor versus labor. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you something here too, folks. Pennsylvania, at-will employment state. So I can fire you anytime, any day, for any reason, and you have no recourse. And I love it. That's great. We're not stuck with dead weight. Does it get abused? Sometimes, but good luck filing a lawsuit and winning that one. Oki von Skalkvik says, thank you for your help. You're very welcome. New Zealand seems cool. Well, it was until Jacinda Ardern took over and became a fascist paradise. But she's gone now. Bock van Blerk. Tijd om te trek. Ja, it's tijd om te trek, Afrikaner. Ja, tijd om te trek. Yep. Yep. om te trekken. Yep. Liechtenstein. Oh, I love Liechtenstein, Pablo, but it's tiny, expensive.
Wen, jou paspoort op die tafel, het my hier vastgepen.
Tijd om te trekken.
Maar jou woorde aan my, wil ek hier achterbly.
There you go. Werner van der Berg, thank you for your compelling journaling efforts. Your insights are invaluable. Here's not. Thank you. That'll actually pay for Frap, I think. Thank you for tireless repeating yourself in questions. You're very welcome, Mindscape. And folks, I'm not really annoyed. I'm frustrated that people aren't watching the videos. I went to a lot of trouble to make the video. It answers most of these questions. And then people keep asking us. And I'm mostly frustrated because people have been here for a while, don't want to hear the same question over and over again. That's why I'm frustrated. I'd rather talk about something else. But thank you, Charles, for being here. I appreciate it. When it rains like today, we can pump water free. Here, many saw that. Okay, I already got that. And you can be called at the top. Yeah, I can be called at the drop of a hat. In fact, I was asked to come back on active duty in late 2023 to work at the War College. And I turned it down, which I will tell you that if I went back as a colonel with my time and grade now and my time in service, I would have been making, if I'd gone back in the Army, I don't make that money now, but I would have been making a lot of coin, because the housing allowance is tax exempt, would have more than paid for my mortgage, and then I could have kept that money that was paying for my mortgage in my pocket. But yep, Tony's off to bed. Good night, Tony. Okay. Captain says they take down my comments on the other platform. Captain, one of my moderators took your comments down. We don't see any deleted comments from you. If your comments are not appearing, it's because YouTube took them down. You must have said something that offended YouTube. They have automatic things they take down. Nancy, you're choosing the ANC side. What's this? Okay. Tijd om te trekken. Okay. So we'll only get messages out live podcast to control the media on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is stuffing around. YouTube is not a free speech platform. We know that. This channel was shadow banned for years. Yep. Colonel, please get a post at U.S. Embassy. Well, Deputy Chief of Mission, that'd be great. Tell Joel Pollack to bring me over. Live in Kensington, Maryland for 8 years. Okay. All right. That's cool. Fakila Mabalua keeps poking Trump. We don't need America. Well, YouTube is crap. Elon needs to buy the platform, make it fair again. Well, I wish Elon would make Twitter fair. Elon hasn't made Twitter fair. It's still a censorship platform. Elon needs to make Twitter fair. I mean, with my 11,000 tweets and the stuff I've been tweeting on over the years, why do I only have 4,000 subscribers or followers on YouTube, on Twitter? So there's my Twitter account for people who want to follow me over there. If you want to follow me on Twitter, there it is. Okay. For over 10 years armed response security experience, I love what I do. Will that count for something USA? Is there similar work? No, it's limited here. We don't. This isn't a terrified country. We do have security services. We do have cash in transit companies and stuff like that. But it's not like South Africa where everyone has to have a wall and guards outside the place. But yeah, there are jobs like that. But it's not gonna be. I mean, I don't know how you find work in that. I don't know anybody that works in that industry. I don't know a single person. But I can point to dozens of people in South Africa that do it. Liked and shared a lot of your videos. Thank you for your amazing work. Unbeatable experience and information. Well, you're welcome, Marty. Thank you so much for your kind words. Appreciate that. Force feeding us BS. How is that freedom? What? Okay, Captain, I don't know what you're doing here, but you're about to get spanked here. Okay? I don't need you coming in here and acting foolish. You're not being censored here. If you want to bitch and moan about YouTube, go elsewhere. Or my moderators are going to censor you here because you're just distracting and you're attention seeking. Okay? You've been warned. Stop it. Gideon, cutting AGOA is all about reducing the deficit before massive tax cuts. Nothing else. No, it's not. How does cutting AGOA reduce the deficit? You want to explain that to me, Gideon? Reducing the deficit? Explain that one to me. I'm very curious to hear what you're saying there, Gideon. Okay, so let me just do the math on this really quickly, okay? Calculator. I'll go with the overestimate here. 3 billion, 300 million, 3 billion times 0.025. All right, So $3 billion in goods and services that are exported to the United States through AGOA. Most of those goods and services are getting a 2.5% advantage. 2.5% of $3 billion is $75 million. You want to know how long it takes for the U.S. government to spend $75 million every day? You ready? We're going to reduce the deficit for a second and a half. Dude, what are you talking about? You are smoking your socks, Gideon. You are smoking your socks. Unless you got some other explanation there. Zenda says, I have ankle broken in 3 places. Ow. Can't heal without operation. I was fused and put on a 7-year waiting list. Good God. That's horrible. Melinda, good morning to you. Headlines to suit their narratives. Okay, you're gone, buddy. You're gone. I warned you. Oh, sorry, I almost got the wrong person there. Hang on. Oh, God dang it. Damn it. You were warned. You were warned. You didn't listen. You didn't listen. Be an ass. Goodbye. I need to interview Davi Roots. I'm having a chance to get him. But yeah, he's right. He's out of touch. I said the same thing. And I said it. I did it live. I covered it. Colonel, not sure if you answered this. What's the average turnaround time for an executive order to come into effect? Immediately. It's in effect. All of his executive orders, unless he gives a date, are in effect immediately. So at some point, Trump's going to be, where the hell's my program for refugees from South Africa? And people are going to have to answer that question. Anyone know if the documents of Petzer sent Saturday have arrived in USA? No. How would anybody know that, man? No, the embassy acknowledged it was received by them at Southern Embassy. Well, Wolp, I can tell you what probably happened is they took it inside, they scanned it, made an Adobe Acrobat, and sent it back to Washington, D.C. So I'm sure it's here. But Trump's never going to see that stuff. People are smoking their socks if they think it's going to happen. Stephen, you missed all kinds of stuff. Same old questions over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. I hear stories about highly qualified people who become bus drivers when they leave. That puts us in the same position we'd be in here. Persecution is primarily economic. You know, Mickey, I'm great. I'm glad you hear stories. And who exactly are we talking about? You have evidence, even anecdotal evidence, or is somebody just telling you bullshit? Anyway. All right, guys. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the super chat. We got a few new members. And we have fewer viewers than last night. Did I miss this super chat from Rupert? Rupert 140, thank you for that, Rupert. That was a while ago. Does anyone... Oh, that was a load-shedding question. 2 doctorates in theology. Will they allow me to open Afrikaans church for Afrikaners? I think it would be a good support role. Well, yeah, but you'd have to have Afrikaners around. Why can't you open a church? Churches meet all over the place. No, I didn't see the emergency NATO meeting last night. I was busy working. I was on the radio. To choose their work, I thought the government supplied employment. Why do you think the government supplies employment? We don't supply employment. This isn't a communist state. This isn't a command economy. We don't supply jobs. You get jobs. What the government does at the state level is they have employment services. They have employment bureaus. And they can direct you to places where work are. But who needs that? Just go on monster.com or one of the job places, and look for jobs. There's a bazillion jobs out there. This is not complicated. No, Tokoloshi, the government doesn't supply you a job. God, you guys are so used to being the victims of communist oppression and, socialism under the National Party. You expect the government to give you stuff and take care of you or not take care of you. And this, your view of what the world is supposed to be and how a government's supposed to interact with its population is wildly skewed. But you know what? A lot of Americans are the same way. We've got to educate them. You don't want to pump septic tanks. Been around that. No, this isn't the United Kingdom or Europe. No. That's one reason why their economies are stagnant and just broken. Why do you need an Afrikaans church? Well, Alexander, look, there's nothing wrong with having an Afrikaans church. I mean, the old Spanish families of Texas And New Mexico and Southern California still practice cotillion. They're Roman Catholics. They speak Spanish, but they also speak English. They're Americans. The Amish still speak German as a first language, and they have German. They have their churches. The Mennonites have their churches. Dunkers had their churches for centuries. Now they pretty much faded away. Seventh-day Adventists. So you look, there's nothing wrong with guarding your culture here. Guys, you don't have to abandon your culture. You could be an Afrikaner in America if that's what you want to be. It's not going to be easy because you're not going to have a critical mass of Afrikaners around you in most cases. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, Rupert, you pretty much hit it on the head there. You do some work? Okay. Okay, many years ago, I had some friends in the USA had conversations about living conditions. All agree that it's better to be poor in USA than it's better to be poor in America than anywhere else in the world, folks. Take off your honeymoon goggles, Sapphists. Do your homework. South Africa is a speck in a great, very big world. Yep. All right. Okay, guys. Let me wrap up here. I want to make a video about how the ANC got blown off. It got blown off by the State Department. Oh, my goodness. Victor, anyway, it's fine. I don't want to promote my awesome church that we follow. You can welcome. He's in Oklahoma. You're welcome, Pierre. You're very welcome, Yappy. Congrats, 45,000. Thank you very much. Love the news pod interview. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that. And tell your friends about the program and get them to follow. Get us to that 50,000 mark as quick as possible. Thank you, guys. Shawnee, good to see you tonight. How things in Minnesota? Could you elaborate on how our views are skewed? Feeling a little misunderstood here. We're being scared by naysayers. You'll live in tents. You'll be poor. Okay. All right. I'm not going to go because I'm going to answer that. Okay. I'm not going to go. First off, people telling you that don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right, Miki, why are you listening to people? Have I told you anything dishonest? Have I intentionally misled anybody here? I challenge. Go ahead. Not you, Pablo Charlie, because I know you're going to troll. And if Matthew Dixon was here, would. Have I misled anybody? By the way, those who've been watching my program for a long time, how many of my predictions have come false? How many? About the elections, about America, about what's going on. I was wrong about Trump winning in 2020. We know why he did win in 2020, so you can call me on that, and I'll admit that I got it wrong. But how many things have I gotten wrong? So you don't have to believe me. But what are these people telling you? What do they know? How do they know? How do they know it's 150,000 cap? Because they read it somewhere. How do they know this? How do they know that? But that doesn't make it true. You're going to be living in tents. You're not going to be living in tents. Where do you get this stuff from? This is, God, these people that tell you this shit are fucking shitbirds. Don't listen to shitbirds. They don't know. And I'll tell you, I don't know the facts either because the program hasn't been done. But I can tell you the norm. I can tell you what's expected. I can tell you what's possible inside the law. They know their ass from a hole in the ground. Give me their names so I can call them out. I'll call individuals out because they don't know what they're talking about. They know their ass from a hole in the ground. They're talking shit out of their mouth. So don't be discouraged from that. Don't be encouraged from it. Don't listen to them. Okay? Don't even listen to me. There's two places to go. Whitehouse.gov. Under the news tab, and I'll take you there right now, and I'll show you how to do it, okay? This is how you do it, okay? Whitehouse.gov. You ready for this? Piece of cake. You don't have to, don't have to believe anything I say. Whitehouse.gov. W-H-I-T, whitehouse.gov. Boom. There it is. See Donald Trump? That isn't that's not it. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. Wrong window. I got to do this one here. There we go. Donald Trump, okay? News. Right there at the top. News. Okay, February 17th. Do you see anything here on South Africa? No. So there's no news from Trump on the 16th, on the 15th. You can go back and track all 21 pages of all his documents, executive orders, and his statements, and you can check it. Now, let's go to the South African, the American Embassy. That's the only other place you're going to get information from. Don't go to USCIS because they don't have information on this program. Presidents, this is the same thing Trump put up there. There's nothing new here. I'm going to open a new tab, okay? And they have a fact sheet. This is all they have. Nothing new. They put something on their Twitter page, but all it was to say that this says nothing new. He has an order. That's it. And give you an email address, which is wasting your time. And this is how he addressed it. And all this does is say the same thing Trump said, except he did one thing different here. Ethnic minority descendants. Ethnic minority descendants. That's the only thing that's different. Otherwise, everything else is the same as what Trump said. So, Miki, don't listen to these people. Tell them to show you. And don't get in a tiz over it because no one knows. This is the thing that irritates me the most. Stop listening to shitbirds in South Africa. The racists on the left, the racists on the right, the self-loathing Afrikaners and Boers, don't listen to them. You have to think for yourself. This isn't South Africa. We don't expect sheep. Don't be sheeple, okay? I have to start selling that hoodie again. Don't be sheeple. Anyway. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Come on, over here. There we go. All right. Did I answer your question, Miki? Yeah, the talented Irish came to America, and they've assimilated, and they're still Americans, but they respect their traditions. Sharon says, you're a star. You have me at fits of laughter. Thank you for being a guiding light. Truly enjoy your comments. Thank you for that. Lindy, it's funny, though, because a lot of you love this, and then other people are like, oh, you're yelling at people. We're afraid to ask you questions. Why are you here? I didn't tell you you couldn't ask questions. But you're just, I'm just what? Too kind, too generous, too giving, too good looking? I'll take the glasses off. Thank you. Oh my God, Garrett Pass. Watch the video. 14 frequently asked questions. Watch the video. I'm not going to cover it again tonight. If you're not going to watch the video, then I'm not going to cover that. Okay. I mean, I've only answered that question a bazillion times. Okay. Problem is too many false information. Well, that's because people are suckers. Shawnee, it is a leftist state, is it not? Rory, thank you for your assistance. Would love to shake your hand. Well, Rory, I do get to PE to do meet and greets. I usually do them at Tapas in PE. So just because it's nice and it's all right and they like me there. So, yeah. Distance from you to DC, 2 hours, Johan. 2 hours. Willem Petzer's nailing it. And I'm not? Oh, your cat died. Sorry to hear that, Garrett. Christian says, why is there so much information? Because Afrikaners and Boers are that way. Someone was talking about earlier how they lost because they mentioned General De Wet and said we lost because we weren't united. Well, that's why you always fall apart. You put 10 of you together and you got 12 leaders. You put 10 of you together, you got 25 opinions. And that's not an insult. That's a fact. And any honest Afrikaner or Boer will agree with me because they know it's true. And there are people, Agra-SA is making money from this, okay, from the government. So it's not in their interest to tell people they should go anywhere. It's to tell them it's safe here, that Trump is full of crap. The DA is part and parcel of the ANC. They're in the government now. They're saying they're attacking this legally, but they took a weak stance. And they're saying this was the easiest way to defeat it. It's not. The easiest way to defeat it would have got a Section 80 challenge, and it would have been within 30 days, it would have been resolved. So anyway, thank you, Edward. What about me? Yeah. So there are people who have something to gain, you know? So anyway, 50 Boer, 60 churches. Exactly. Retirement age. Look it up on the internet, Johan de Villiers. Look it up on the internet. I answered that question a half hour ago. I'm not doing it anymore. All right, folks. This thing is not working here. Come on. YouTube is really being difficult tonight. All right. Hit the like button. Cheers, guys. We had a smaller crowd tonight than last night. And I'm done here. I'll see you guys in a few hours when I get back up for the interview with Neil Diamond, the chairman and president of the South African Chamber of Commerce here in the States. We'll talk about all the inquiries they've been getting. That's at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard, 4 p.m. in South Africa. So that's less than 7 hours from now. And I got to make a video and edit and get it up, so I won't be to bed for another hour at least. And then I will be having Franz Cronier on Wednesday at 6 p.m. And then on Thursday, Rob Herself will be back in the program, okay? You guys have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Watch the videos, please. It's not hard to do. Piece of cake. Very clear and straightforward. And I talked a lot slower in the video. You guys take care. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm not going to play the... I'll play it tonight, okay? We'll play it tonight. Cheers, everybody.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
This morning I'm sharing the stage with guinea fowl, and quite a few of them, as you can see. They're sharing the stage with guinea fowl and barking dogs in a residential area here in Somerset West.